World-defying Dan God Chapter 5201, Swallow the Stars. After Chen Shang felt it was difficult to move, he soon noticed that an extremely powerful force was brewing. Ji Wubai is mobilizing the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man to attract and attack Chen Shang through space transmission. If such powerful power from the Temple of Heaven and Man fell on Chen Zhang's head, even with the divine mirror of 6 paths, Chen Shang would be affected and seriously injured. Ji Wubai is a master at using space power, and Chen Shang is not to be outdone. He immediately opened the Tianquan space, and then entered the Tianquan space. The power that Ji Wubai mobilized from the Temple of Heaven and Man had also landed, and just before it landed, Chen Shang suddenly disappeared. The power from the Temple of Heaven and Man erupted, and the surrounding space was torn apart, but Ji Wubai knew very well that Chen Shang did not die. Ji Wubai himself was also shocked, because he didn't expect Chen Shang to escape in such a situation. He thought that Chen Shang would use that magic mirror to resist. Ji Wubai is very confident in his own strength, even the strong ones in the Temple of Heaven and Man. In the situation just now, it is difficult to escape in a short time, but Chen Shang did it. "Brother, this guy is really strong," Sister Xiaojing exclaimed. "Yes, his own strength is not weak, and with the help of the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man, he can also use it freely, and can be mobilized in an instant through space transmission. He is indeed very capable. Not idle, the mirror of 6 paths is brewing energy. And Chen Shang himself is also controlling his fates to merge with each other, colliding with a powerful fate divine power. Only in this way, he can be sure to beat Ji Wubai." Of course, he didn't expect to kill Ji Wubai, as long as he could defeat him. Chen Shang said, "Sister Jing, wait a minute, I want to fight in close quarters. Only by getting close can I have a chance of winning." Sister Xiaojing and Chen Shang are connected in heart. She knows what Chen Shang is going to do later. Chen Shang has already locked Ji Wubai's location through the Tianquan space. And Ji Wubai also knew that Chen Shang was locking him, but he didn't dodge, but waited for Chen Shang to appear. After Chen Shang was ready, he suddenly flashed out from the Tianquan space, and rushed directly to Ji Wubai. Ji Wubai was a little surprised, because Chen Shang wanted to fight him in close quarters. While Chen Shang was approaching, Suzaku's tender thread had already flown out, and he came to Ji Wubai very quickly. Then the Azure Dragon Claw shot out one after another, and the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife swirled to attack Ji Wubai from the side. Ji Wubai was very steady, and fought back very quickly. He didn't know what Chen Shang was going to do, but after Chen Shang got close to him, it was really difficult to use the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man. Because it is too close, and the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man is very strong, the attack range is a large area, and even oneself may be severely injured at that time. Suzaku's tenderness wandered out. Ji Wubai also noticed it, but he thought it was Chen Zhang's little trick, so he didn't take it to heart. Ji Wubai thought that the only ones that could threaten him were Chen Zhang's divine mirror of 6 paths and the Azure Dragon Demon Slayer knife. However, Suzaku's tender thread suddenly exploded, and a large piece of silk thread burst out to wrap Ji Wubai. Ji Wubai was surprised. At this moment, the magic mirror of 6 paths had grown in size and flew over his head. Boom! All of Chen Zhang's fates collided, urging the divine power to circulate, and then guiding the divine mirror of 6 paths to become a super powerful tribulation force. The power of the ancient catastrophe. Chen Shang cultivated the life tribulation frame. He is using this kind of power now. Ji Wubai was hit by the terrifying robbery force, and his flowing blonde hair was instantly blown away. "What?" Ji Wubai yelled angrily, and saw his body swelled up, and a dazzling golden glow bloomed, and the space around him fluctuated extremely violently. The Temple of Heaven and Man is sending power to him. Boom boom boom. The tribulation power of the divine mirror of 6 paths fell crazily. Chen Shang is also desperately mobilizing the divine power in his body, maintaining the life-robbing style and cooperating with the magic mirror of 6 paths, blasting out the great catastrophe of the ancient times. Ji Wubai was bombarded several times in succession, and his body was torn apart. As the surrounding space burst instantly, Ji Wubai also disappeared suddenly, and he was taken away by the Temple of Heaven and Man. At this time, the Temple of Heaven and Man in the distance also shot countless extremely strong golden lights towards this side, containing very terrifying power. Chen Shang jumped onto the divine mirror of 6 paths, traveled through the space and left this place in an instant. That guy is nothing more than that. If he stays away from the Temple of Heaven and Man, he is not my opponent at all. Now Chen Shang has figured out the strength of the great master of the temple, and he doesn't know what level he is in the temple of heaven and man. If it is the strongest group of people in the temple of heaven and man, then the temple of heaven and man has nothing to fear, as long as the temple of heaven and man is destroyed. What makes Chen Shang and Xiao Jing's sister puzzled now is what the heavenly man temple is going to do to that star. They are still observing the star that has just passed through the ancient catastrophe from a long distance, and the temple of heaven and man seems to be controlling that huge star. Brother, those guys didn't come after you again, Sister Xiao Jing said. It seems that they just want to drive you away. Chen Shang looked at the huge celestial temple in the distance, and found that there were extremely strong spatial forces fluctuating around the celestial temple. Although the temple of heaven and man is very large, compared to the giant stars, the temple of heaven and man is like ants and elephants, still very small. But the scene before them stunned Chen Shang and Xiao Jing's sister. The huge star that survived the ancient catastrophe suddenly disappeared with a super strong spatial fluctuation. The temple of heaven and man took away that star. If this is the case, the strength of the temple of heaven and man will definitely improve by leaps and bounds. How do these guys do it? Chen Shang was very shocked. Although the divine mirror of six paths could also take away stars, it could only take away such small stars as ancient six-path stars. If it is a huge star, the divine mirror of six paths cannot be taken away, let alone the kind of star that has survived the ancient catastrophe. Brother, this is troublesome. Sister Xiao Jing knows the stars very well. Although she doesn't know what the temple of heaven and man has done, the temple of heaven and man must be able to obtain great power from that star. Chen Shang had seen before how powerful Ji Wubai was through obtaining power through the temple of heaven and man. If this continues, the next time he meets Ji Wubai, it will definitely be even more difficult to fight. And what Chen Shang was most worried about was that this celestial temple would pose a threat to Tianji Yuxing. After the celestial temple took away the star, it suddenly traveled through space, and it didn't know where it went. Sister Xiao Jing can be sure that the temple of heaven and man did not go to Tianguxing. Sister Jing, can you still sense the temple of heaven and man? Chen Shang asked. Let me try it. Sister Xiao Jing released the space wave to track and find the temple of heaven and man. But not long after, Sister Xiao Jing shouted in shock, Brother, the temple of heaven and man has left the flame domain. What? Chen Shang was also taken aback. Could it be that there are heavenly and human temples in other domains? All the heavenly and human temples should be gathered together. Sister Xiao Jing guessed. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5202, Cosmos Superstar. How did the temple of heaven and man run so far? It just left the flame domain. Chen Shang couldn't understand this. It's normal. The temple of heaven and man originally came from other time and space. They should have this kind of power. It may be because they have controlled the profound meaning of time, so they can affect space through time and carry out long-distance space travel. Sister Xiao Jing is also studying this aspect. She has a good grasp of space, but her understanding of the mysteries of time is not enough, so the two cannot combine to produce the most powerful force. Will they run back? Chen Shang looked at the place where the temple of heaven and man disappeared, and asked. Yes, they will definitely come back. If there are no other problems with Tianguxing, they will definitely keep their eyes on Tianguxing. Sister Xiao Jing said. When the temple of heaven and man returns, it will definitely be stronger. Sister Xiao Jing said. Brother, let's look for the temple of time, those guys must have taken action. Can you find it? You don't seem to have marked them. Chen Shang said. Sister Xiao Jing really didn't mark it, so she wasn't sure. Now she can only release the space wave to cover the entire flame domain, and then see if there are a large number of palaces floating in the void of the flame domain. In this way, a lot of energy is consumed, and the energy comes from those star cores. Although they have tens of thousands of star cores, if they continue to use them, they will gradually run out. Sister Jing, can we collect stars to supplement our consumption like the temple of heaven and man? Chen Shang asked. I always feel that our star cores are not enough. It's enough for us to use for a long time. After all, it's just for our use. Although the temple of heaven and man also has a lot of that kind of star core, but they are used by the entire temple of heaven and man, which consumes a lot of money, so they have to charge devouring stars. Sister Xiao Jing is trying to find the temple of time. Then do we want to collect the stars? Chen Shang recalled that the temple of heaven and man seemed to take away the stars easily, and he was also eager to try. Brother, don't offend the stars here. The current stars are not the ancient stars of the six paths. Even if they are the ancient stars of the six paths, they have a relationship with us, so we take them away. Sister Xiaojing seriously warned. Chen Shang understood what little Sister Xiaojing meant, so he could only stifle this idea. The current stars in Tianghu Purgatory can be regarded as a whole, an ethnic group. If you collect these stars, you will definitely offend them. Naturally, they don't care about the Temple of Heaven and Man, but we have to consider this point. Sister Xiaojing was afraid that Chen Shang would not understand, continue to explain. I understand. The stars in the ancient purgatory are all going through the Great Tribulation. After the tribulation, they are at their weakest period, and they are connected with each other, so they must know something. Chen Shang nodded. Ling Shu said before that the stars in the ancient purgatory communicate with each other. In the next era of star change, the stars in Tianghu Purgatory will be the overlords of this era. Let's try not to offend them. Sister Xiaojing said. After searching for a long time, little Sister Xiaojing gave up, and the area of AA flames was getting bigger and bigger. It was very difficult to find the Temple of Time. Sister Jing, is Tianghu Purgatory still expanding? Chen Shang asked. It's still expanding, and the speed is accelerating, becoming bigger and bigger. Sister Xiaojing sighed. In some places, there are even time forces mixed in, accelerating the birth of stars, which is really amazing. It's been such a long time. Even if the ancient time and space merged in, it should have ended long ago. But now not only is it not over, it is even accelerating to become larger, indicating that a huge space-time has been integrated into it. Just after Chen Shang and Sister Xiaojing gave up looking for the Temple of Time, they were about to return to Tianghu planet, but they suddenly received a message from Ling Shu. Master, there is a big star approaching, colliding with Tianghu star. Ling Shu said anxiously. I am in retreat to practice, to understand the way of star transformation in Tianghu Purgatory. It is very important, I don't want to stop it. Okay, I'll go back and have a look. Chen Shang was somewhat happy, because Ling Shu had already entered the Tao, which meant that ancient stars could also change, but he didn't know what would happen in the end. At that time, Tianghu Xing should experience the Tianghu Great Tribulation, then the Tianghu Star Alliance will have to leave Tianghu Xing. After Chen Shang came near Tianghu, Sister Xiaojing also found the star that was flying over quickly. Let's go over and have a look, Chen Shang said. After they passed by, they saw that the star was huge, glowing with fire, hundreds of times bigger than Tianghu star. What is this? Chen Shang was shocked. If such a huge star hit Tianghu would definitely be finished. As for Chen Shang and little Sister Xiaojing, they don't know if they can block this star. Ha ha ha, Chen Shang, you are here, do you still remember me? A voice suddenly came from Chen Zhang's mind, someone locked him with soul consciousness. You are, the Lord of the Universe. Chen Shang was shocked and said, you made this star. My Wanzhou mountain entered the core space of a star by mistake, and then we took control of this star and survived the ancient calamity, ha ha ha. The Lord of Wanzhou laughed and said, I'm going to do it now. Die your celestial ancient star. This Lord of the Universe, after running to the ancient purgatory, can be said to be very lucky, and now he has such great luck again. Lord of the Universe, I am not your enemy. In the ancient purgatory, the Temple of Time, the Temple of Heaven and Man, and the Star Spirit race are the ones you should be most vigilant about. After you destroy my ancient star, in the future no one can restrict them. Chen Shang said. I annexed your Tianghu, and when the time comes, the temples, the heavenly and the human temples will be floating clouds, ha ha ha, just wait and see the Tianghu die. The Lord of the Universe was very proud, laughing maniacally. Chen Shang didn't know how Wanzhou Mountain controlled such a huge star. He absolutely couldn't wait like this, otherwise the ancient star would be wiped out. At this time, Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, let's use the ancient star of the six paths. The ancient star of the six paths needs to absorb a lot of energy now to completely complete the star transformation. Let's enter the interior of this star and release the ancient star of the six paths. Okay, you arrange it. Chen Shang also agreed to give it a try. This star is so huge, it is still very easy to get in. The mirror of six paths flew over with Chen Shang, and did not perform a space jump, because the inner space would definitely be strictly guarded, and it would be difficult to jump into it. Chen Shang rode the divine mirror of six paths, quickly passed through the outermost layer of flames, and then landed on the surface like flames below. There is a lot of hot liquid coming out here, and I don't know what it is. Even if Chen Shang couldn't stand the heat here, he could only rely on the shield released by the divine mirror of six paths to resist. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5203, Do My Best. The Lord of Myriad Universes also noticed that Chen Shang was approaching. Chen Shang also didn't know how the Lord of Myriad Universes managed to make that huge star burst into a wave of anger. In just the blink of an eye, Chen Shang and the divine mirror of six paths were blown away from that star. The goal of the Lord of the Universe is the ancient star. At this time, the huge star is approaching the ancient star, which is overwhelming. Chen Shang was very desperate at this time, because the stars controlled by the Lord of the Universe were too powerful, and the ancient star would definitely not be able to stop it. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, there is only one way. But the loss will be huge." Chen Shang looked at the stars controlled by the Lord of Myriad Universe in the distance, flying towards the ancient star, and sighed, "No matter how much the loss is, we must keep the ancient star. The ancient star is very important. If the Lord of Myriad Universe gets the ancient star, he will definitely become a powerful force. Chen Shang must stop him." The mirror of six paths flew to the distance, the mirror surface became very huge, and then faced the giant star in the distance. I saw that the huge mirror flashed suddenly, and every time it flashed, a star core was shot out. That kind of ancient star core was released by Sister Xiaojing. Boom boom boom. Hundreds of star cores were shot out one after another, blasting towards the superstar of the universe, directly blasting the superstar of the universe out of orbit. Because the universe superstar is too big, it is very difficult to slow down or turn. At this time, the superstar of the universe just flew by the side of Tianguxing, and it continued to fly forward, and it could not stop in a short time. The Lord of the Universe is yelling, "The superstar of the universe deviates from the orbit. If you want to adjust it, you have to make a big circle, or slow down and turn around, but it will take a lot of time." Temporarily avoided. Chen Shang breathed a sigh of relief, but the superstar of the universe will definitely continue to rush towards the ancient star, and it is only temporarily safe at the moment. Having lost hundreds of star cores just now, Chen Shang and Sister Xiaojing were very heartbroken, and they could only continue to use this method to blast away the Wanzhou superstar, preventing the Wanzhou superstar from approaching Tianguxing. Chen Shang said, "Sister Jing, going on like this is not an option. If we run out of star cores, wouldn't it be impossible to resist them?" Sister Xiaojing sighed, "Brother, why don't we give up those star cores in one go, and leave only a little for us to use? The superstar of the universe will definitely come back, and the next time it hits, it will definitely be prepared, and the star core that needs to be paid will be even more. And the universe superstar can devour those star cores to become stronger, so their method just now can only solve the urgent need. Okay, let's use up a lot of star cores in one go and completely wipe out that cosmic giant star, right?" Chen Shang was also prepared for a huge loss. If he didn't have this awareness, he wouldn't be able to protect Tianji Yuxing. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, let's go through this test first. Tianghu star is very important. If it falls into other people's hands, they will use Tianghu star to suppress us in the future. The superstar of the universe is so powerful now, what if he swallowed the ancient star? Sister Jing, don't feel sorry for Star Core, let's kill that bastard." Chen Shang shouted, "Fuck him." They took the initiative to attack this time and flew towards the superstar of the universe. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, we only leave 1,000 star cores, and the other front parts are used to smash the superstars of the universe, otherwise it will not be enough." Chen Shang also said directly, "Okay, asterisk 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 him." Chen Shang and the Lord of Myriad Universes are old enemies, and now he also wants to make an end as soon as possible. Sister Xiaojing released nearly 30,000 star cores, and then quickly formed a star array. The star cores are densely covered, and they start to rotate with each other, then merge with each other, and finally collide and form a ball. And this group of energy is right in front of the universe superstar at this moment. The Lord of Myriad Universe laughed wildly and said, "Chen Shang, where did you get the star core? You want to use these star cores to destroy me? No way, ha ha ha, I made it this time, I can eat my fill." Because the energy formed by the star core seems to be easy to swallow, and the energy is so rich, so the Lord of the Universe thinks that he can completely swallow it, and it will not be too late to take down Tianguxing later. Sister Xiaojing sneered and said, "Don't try to succeed, this trap is for you." After the superstars of the universe rushed towards the mass of energy, they collided violently, and suddenly a strong light flashed, and waves of scorching air swept over. The superstar of the universe actually cracked directly, torn and penetrated by the energy formed by tens of thousands of star cores, and then cut and split. The superstar of the universe is finished. Sister Xiaojing said. Those star cores were not wasted in vain. As long as this crisis can be prevented, it is considered a profit. After the superstar of the universe was torn apart in the distance, it turned into energy, and the Lord of the universe was also madly cursing Chen Shang. Chen Shang looked at the strong light in the distance, where the light clouds were densely covered, and felt very heartbroken, and sighed, "It's a pity for those star cores. Chen Shang, I will never die with you, you just wait for me." The voice of the Lord of the universe came. "Brother, you can't let him go." Sister Xiaojing said, "I've already locked him in, let's go and get him now." The mirror of six paths immediately led Chen Shang to jump over. They saw the Lord of Myriad Universes, who was actually a skinny old man. He was floating in the dense cloud of light, and when he saw Chen Shang approaching, he immediately looked terrified. Because he knew that he was very weak right now, if he met Chen Shang, he would definitely die. "It's all because of you, wasting so many of my star cores." Chen Shang suddenly became angry. With so many star cores, he was originally preparing to defend against the Temple of Time, the Temple of Heaven and Man, and other experts from the ancient purgatory floors. But now, it's all wasted by this cosmic superstar. You deserve it." The Lord of the Universe laughed and said, "Great, it seems that I have consumed your precious star core. Then, the Temple of Time and the Temple of Heaven and Man will definitely kill you, ha ha ha. Old bastard." Chen Shang cursed angrily, then blasted his fists violently, beating the Lord of Myriad Universe violently, and also released strands of soul power to attack the Lord of Myriad Universe's soul. The Lord of Myriad Universes suddenly screamed again and again, he is not Chen Zhang's opponent at all now, falling into Chen Zhang's hands, he has no choice but to live or die. The Lord of the Universe screamed, "Chen Shang, let me go, I can make it up to you. I know the secret of the stars in the ancient purgatory, let me tell you, let me go." Chen Shang was quite surprised, he didn't expect the Lord of Myriad Universe to be so cowardly, he couldn't bear it all of a sudden. "Say it," Chen Shang said, "you sign a soul contract with me, promise to let me go, and I will tell you. I will also sign a soul contract with you, I will not lie to you, and I guarantee it will be useful to you," said the Lord of the Universe. "Then you'd better die." After Chen Shang finished speaking, Luan Quan directly greeted him, hitting the Lord of Myriad Universes to let out a heart-piercing scream. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5204, Dark Flame Domain. Chen Shang, don't you want to know the secret of the stars in the ancient purgatory? If you know, you can control and devour the stars like me. The Lord of Myriad Universe screamed. "I don't want to know now." Chen Shang has already looked away, and doesn't care about any secrets, he only wants the Lord of the Universe to die. The Lord of 10,000 Universes was dumbfounded, and shouted, "Chen Shang, you idiot! If you know this secret, you will be the strongest person in Tianghu Purgatory. Just let me go, and you will know this secret." Chen Shang didn't speak, and continued to beat the Lord of Myriad Universe violently, torturing his soul and body. The Lord of the Universe wailed, "Let me go, my secret can really benefit you a lot. I only knew the secret by merging that star by accident. If you let me go, you can know the secret now. You can know this secret, and soon, the Temple of Time and the Heavenly Man of Time will also be able to know it. This is not a secret at all," Chen Shang said. The Lord of Myriad Universes did not expect Chen Shang to be so desireless, he could only keep begging and screaming. If it was Chen Shang from before, he might be willing to make a deal with the Lord of the Universe. But for the current Chen Shang, everything is going with the flow, and he only wants to torture and kill the Lord of Myriad Universes. The Lord of the Universe caused him to lose so many star cores, if he let the Lord of the Universe go, Chen Shang would have a demon in his heart. Just like that, the Lord of Myriad Universes was beaten to death by Chen Shang, his soul was scattered, his body was wiped out, and before he died, he suffered all kinds of torture and pain. This caused me to lose so many star cores, no matter what, I can't let him go. Chen Shang watched the Lord of Myriad Universes dissipate, and his mood immediately eased a lot. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, maybe we haven't completely lost those star cores, look at Tianguxing. The shredded giant star of the universe and a large number of fragments of the star core turned into gas clouds and a large number of fragments at this moment, surrounding the ancient star. A huge golden disc appeared outside Tianguxing. Seeing this scene, Chen Shang was quite pleasantly surprised. If Tianguxing can absorb it, what will happen? No matter what, Tianguxing will have to face the great catastrophe, and then Tianguxing can only face it directly. Sister Xiaojing said. The Tianghu star is indeed devouring and absorbing the fragments of the cosmic superstar in those star cores. After Chen Shang got close to Tianguxing, he contacted Ling Shu and asked, Ling Shu, what's the situation with Tianguxing? Tianguxing is absorbing those fragments. Thank you Master for taking action, otherwise Tianguxing would be finished. Ling Shu also knew that Chen Shang had lost a lot, and a large number of star cores just disappeared. Chen Shang didn't know what would happen to Tianguxing next, and now the members of Tianghu Star Alliance all evacuated Tianguxing. Aoshi Temple, Shen Family, Blood Lord's Purgatory Blood Gate, some women from Hundred Flowers Temple, and Yaohun Nuguo are all flying away from Tianguxing. Fortunately, they were ready to evacuate before, and they did not completely migrate to Tianguxing. Tianguxing will also use its last strength to help them go to their safe hiding place. After all, they are now floating in the void of the flame domain, which is also very dangerous. And Chen Shang needs to stay here, keep an eye on the ancient star at all times, to prevent someone from destroying the ancient star to complete the star transformation. Chen Shang now only has more than 1,000 star cores left. If there are any more powerful enemies approaching, he can only fight with all his strength. After the members of the Tianghu Star Alliance left, the movement of the Tianghu star was very loud, and it began to crazily devour the energy of the huge disk around it. That is the energy of the universe giant star and a large number of star cores. If Tianghu star successfully devours it, there will definitely be huge changes. 5 days later, Sister Xiaojing suddenly said, Brother, the Temple of Heaven and Man has returned to the flame domain. Sister Xiaojing once marked the Temple of Heaven and Man, so if there is any movement in the Temple of Heaven and Man, Sister Xiaojing will know immediately. The Temple of Heaven and Man left the flame territory before, but now it's back, which made Chen Shang a little worried. If the Temple of Heaven and Man arrives here, I don't know how much impact it will have on Tianguxing. The Temple of Heaven and Man is standing still. Sister Xiaojing said. That's good, I hope Tianguxing can complete the star transformation soon. Chen Shang looked at the stars in the void of the flame territory. They were no longer flickering like before, indicating that many stars had undergone star changes. Not long after the Temple of Heaven and Man returned to the flame domain, the fiery red void of the vast flame domain suddenly gradually dimmed, as if being swallowed by darkness. It became dark. Sister Xiaojing was surprised. Brother, the fiery red light of Yanyu disappeared. What's going on? Has the creation power of flame domain decreased? Chen Shang asked. No, Sister Xiaojing said, I have a bad feeling. Has the 9 realms of Tianghu Purgatory also started to change? Chen Shang frowned. Brother, didn't the energy of the dark domain appear when the ancient stars of the 6 paths crossed the tribulation? Sister Xiaojing suddenly said, is it true that the entire Yan domain is also crossing the ancient calamity? Impossible, the flame domain and the dark domain are at the same level. Chen Shang thought about it and said, I am more inclined, the dark domain is swallowing the flame domain, and the swallowing has succeeded. That's not right. If the dark realm devours the flame realm, it shouldn't be so peaceful here. Sister Xiaojing said, it may be that something has changed in Tianghu Purgatory. The flame field is so huge, if it is swallowed, it will not be completed in such a short time. At this time, Ling Shu said, Master, the 18th floor of Tianghu Purgatory has collapsed, and now the spaces on the 18th floor are mixed with each other. Chen Shang and little sister Xiaojing now also understand why the flame domain suddenly became dark. It should be caused by the collapse of other layers of purgatory. At this time, they felt that the space was very unstable, and there were waves of space fluctuations coming from time to time. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, the Temple of Heaven and Man should have gone to other floors before. They are most likely to collect stars or something. The Temple of Heaven and Man left the flame domain not to go to other domains, but to go to other layers of Tianghu Purgatory. It's very likely that this is the case. These ***** are taking advantage of the fire. Chen Shang cursed in a low voice, they must have caught something. Master, the other floors are merged into the first floor of Tianghu Purgatory. This place will be even more chaotic, and the entire first floor will become even bigger. Ling Shu said. Tiangu Purgatory has indeed been expanding and growing, and the speed has not slowed down, but is still accelerating. Someone is coming, Sister Xiaojing suddenly shouted. Chen Shang also sensed spatial fluctuations. The person who appeared was an old man. Chen Shang had seen this old man from the Star Spirit clan before. When the Six Paths ancient stars crossed the catastrophe, this old man was there along with Time Heavenly Man and Time Cultivator. After the elder of the Protoss tribe appeared, he hurriedly said, "I'm not looking for trouble, I have something important to tell you." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5205, Star. This old man had seen the ancient stars of the Six Paths cross the Great Tribulation before, and now that he was able to find this place, it meant that he also guessed that the ancient stars of the Six Paths would cross the Great Tribulation. Chen Shang asked, "What's the matter?" The old man looked at Tianji Yuxing and said, "If Tianji Yuxing survives the Tianji Yuxing, the Star Spirit race, the Temple of Heaven and Man, and the Temple of Time will definitely join hands to seize it." Chen Shang was not surprised at all, nodded, and said, "This is what I expected." The old man shook his head and said, "I hope you don't take this matter to heart. Now they are growing very fast, and they rely on the stars to obtain great power." Chen Shang asked, "I'm very curious, why they can easily obtain the power of the stars. Before, the stars in Tiangu Purgatory were not so easy to take away." The old man smiled bitterly, "Have you forgotten who we are? We are the children of time. Everything in this world changes with time, and power comes from time. Now, it is just time that favors them and makes them gain great power again, dominate everything under time." Chen Shang frowned and said, "You mean, time gave them a lot of help?" The old man nodded and said, "Yes, time is our belief, and we got the response of time." Chen Shang was puzzled, because these guys made everything so chaotic, yet they were able to get the protection of time. "Thank you for telling me these things. If I meet you on the battlefield, I will not kill you," Chen Shang said. "You're welcome. I also thank you very much for allowing me to experience the process of transforming stars, and I have benefited a lot." The old man smiled and said, "I believe that you will know more about stars than our Protoss clan, and you will also know more about stars than us. Love the stars." Chen Shang sighed. "What's the use of this? Time is not on my side." The old man said, "Time does not belong to anyone, so farewell." The old man left. Chen Shang looked at Tianji Yuxing. He didn't know if he could keep Tianji Yuxing in the future. He immediately contacted Ling Shu, leading to, "Ling Shu, when you are crossing the catastrophe, I will teach you how to make Tianguxing smaller. Chen Shang needs Tianguxing to be small, and then he can receive the magic mirror of Six Paths. At that time, Tianguxing will only lose the blood of purgatory at most, but Tianguxing can still exist temporarily." Chen Shang teamed up with little sister Xiaojing before to make Ludao ancient star smaller, but its strength remained the same, so Tiangu star should be able to do the same. The ancient star of the Six Paths was also completed in the transcending tribulation, and it could only be achieved by relying on the power of the Great Tribulation. Ling Shu listened carefully. Not only did he have to survive the heavenly ancient tribulation next, but he also had to make the Tianguxing smaller so that it would be easier for Chen Shang to put it away. The ancient catastrophe is coming. Chen Shang could feel that the robbery power covered a very large area, and even the stars around Tiangu star were affected. In order not to be sensed by the Great Tribulation, Chen Shang could only fly far away, and then run farther and farther. When he couldn't sense the tribulation power of the heavenly ancient tribulation, he looked towards the Tianguxing side, only to see a strong light shining there. He was very far away from Tianguxing, so the Tianguxing he saw was only the size of a small bean, and he couldn't see the specific situation there, and there was still a strong light shining there. Sister Xiaojing said, "If we don't run far, we will all be in some danger. I hope Tianguxing can survive this calamity." Chen Shang and Xiaojing's younger sister felt very terrified of such a powerful ancient catastrophe. If they faced it, they would definitely die on the spot, and they couldn't resist it at all. Chen Shang stood on the divine mirror of Six Paths, looking at Tianguxing in the distance, feeling restless in his heart. At this moment, 3 rays of light suddenly shot over. "Very strong," Sister Xiaojing suddenly shouted. Before Chen Shang could react, the 3 rays of light landed on the mirror of Six Paths, and then 3 people appeared in front of his eyes. They were three tall people, 2 men and 1 woman. The man was handsome and gentle, the woman was beautiful and beautiful, they were all wearing white clothes. The eyes of these 3 people are as bright as stars, and their eyes are deep. Looking into their eyes, it is like seeing a sea of AA stars. They all look alike, they look like brother and sister. This human seems to be a little different. The ones I met before are time people. This is a real human. He has a very ancient aura, and seems to be older than us. A man said. That's right, and his appearance is very special, much better looking than the eldest brother and the second brother. The more he looks at it, the more he likes it. Our appearances are all carefully carved by the world and time, but his appearance seems to be even more beautiful than ours. The law of the great Tao is profound. When the woman looked at Chen Shang, she did not hide her admiration. Chen Zhang's back was sweating, because these 3 people were too strong, so strong that little sister Xiaojing dared not speak. Everyone, who are you? Chen Shang asked. We are stars. We are transformed from stars. The eldest brother smiled and said, don't be nervous, friends, we don't have the habit of taking the lives of others at will. Star. Chen Shang was shocked in his heart, and asked, Xingchen survived the ancient calamity, and then turned into a human. The woman smiled and said, yes, I was a little star before, and I just broke out of the shell. The elder brother smiled and said, don't listen to her nonsense, we are the same star. After the star passed through the ancient catastrophe, there are thousands of changes, and our star just turned into a dozen people, so we are brothers and sisters. Chen Shang knew that Xingchen would undergo great changes after going through the ancient catastrophe, but he never thought that he could turn into a human. Where's that star? Is it still there? Chen Shang asked curiously. It's gone, the stars turned into more than 10 parts, and then we became us. The woman smiled and said, little brother, what are you doing here by yourself? We are very strange to this world, I wonder if you can tell us speak. Chen Shang is very nervous now, because these 3 people are far stronger than him, and he is also worried that the other party will attack if they disagree. Even though the woman was very beautiful, especially with good-looking eyes, he was still very cautious. Chen Shang smiled wryly and said, this is a very **** world, there is nothing to talk about, you need to experience it yourself. The woman frowned slightly, and said, I was in pain when I crossed the ancient catastrophe, but that should only be temporary, right? Coming to this world, I should be very happy. Chen Shang shook his head and said, pain will always exist, it's always like this in life, as long as you live long enough, you will be able to feel all kinds of pain. The woman smiled softly and said, really? I don't believe it, I will live happily. By the way, what's your name? Let's make an appointment and meet after a while. I want you to see me live happily. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5206, Sunny Star. Chen Shang thought about it, and decided to tell the other party his name, I am Chen Shang. How about you? The woman smiled and said, call me Qingxing. Chen Shang said, purgatory is so big, it will be very difficult for us to meet again, but I wish you happiness forever. Qingxing said with a smile, I also wish you happiness forever. As long as there is fate, we will meet soon. I will definitely prove to you that life is not always painful. I hope so. Chen Shang smiled and said, goodbye, live well, practice well, you have to become stronger. I don't want such a handsome little brother to die. Qingxing said with a smile, and flew away into the distance with her 2 brothers as stars. The direction they were going was not Tianguixing, and Chen Shang was much relieved. Sister Xiaojing suddenly said, brother, they are really strong, and they seem to know my existence, and even secretly want to try to communicate with me. They seem to know that my spirit body can communicate. Ah, are they so powerful? Chen Shang was startled. The direction they are going seems to be the temple of heaven and man. What are they going to do there? Sister Xiaojing suddenly became worried, and said, the star spirit race, the temple of heaven and man and the temple of time, they seem to have united, and with the help of the power of time, I don't know how strong they will become. Chen Shang looked in the direction where Qingxing and the others were going, and suddenly wanted to go over to have a look, but Tianguixing was still going through the Great Tribulation. Chen Shang wondered. They should know about the situation on Tianguixing, but they didn't go to see Tianguixing. Could it be that they don't care about Tianguixing? Sister Xiaojing said, it is very likely that they sense that there is more movement in the temple of heaven and man. Should we also go and see? But on the side of Tianguixing. Chen Shang looked at the flickering Tianguxing in the distance, he was very worried. It should be fine, Tianguxing will definitely survive the Tianggu Great Tribulation. Sister Xiaojing said. The Temple of Heaven and Man may attack Tianguxing in the future, so it's okay for us to go and see their situation now, eh? Chen Shang thought about it, and finally decided to go over and have a look. After all, Qingqing and the others are so strong, if there is a conflict with time and heaven, he can also see how the strength of both sides is. The Mirror of Six Paths made a space jump and went to the Temple of Heaven and Man. The Temple of Heaven and Man was black before, but now it has become golden, and there are many small star cores around it. After Chen Shang came here, he didn't see the three of Qingqing and the others. It was very likely that they had entered the huge palace. Aren't they here? Chen Shang looked into the distance, but he could only see an incomparably huge Temple of Heaven and Man, and no one could be seen outside. They are indeed flying over here. With their strength, they must be able to travel through space. They should have arrived earlier than us, or have they been invited into the palace? Sister Xiaojing also felt a little strangeness. Chen Shang flew to the distance, looked at the incomparably huge palace from a distance, and then observed. Although I didn't see Qingqing and the others, since we're here, we can take a look at the changes in the Temple of Heaven and Man. After waiting for a long time, he suddenly saw 3 rays of light flying out from the Temple of Heaven and Man. Sunshine and the others are out. Is it them? Chen Shang asked. It's them. It turns out that they have entered the Temple of Heaven and Man. With their strength, the Temple of Heaven and Man must have welcomed them very warmly. Sister Xiaojing said. So, they must have a good relationship with the Temple of Heaven and Man. Chen Shang sighed. They have such great strength, they really don't have to live in pain. The guys from the Temple of Heaven and Man are so cunning, it's hard to say, they're just bullying the weak and fearing the strong. Sister Xiaojing said. At this moment, he saw another red light shoot out from the Temple of Heaven and Man, rushing towards Qingqing and the others. What's the situation? Chen Shang was suddenly shocked, because that light was very terrifying, and the breath was very familiar to him. Is it Ji Webai? Why is this guy so strong? Sister Xiaojing was also surprised. What is he going to do? Chen Shang said. Ji Webai is in the Temple of Heaven and Man, but the war venerable of the top-ranked temple sent him out suddenly. Is it to fight? Sure enough, after Ji Webai came out, he directly fought with Qingqing and his 3 brothers and sisters, and the fight was very fierce. Brother, as long as Ji Webai relies on the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man, do you think they can defeat those 3 stars? Sister Xiaojing asked. I don't know, why did the Temple of Heaven and Man take action now? They can do it in the Temple of Heaven and Man. Chen Shang wondered. Let's take a closer look. Sister Xiaojing said. After the magic mirror of 6 paths flew over, Chen Shang was considered close to the battlefield. The 4 of them fought like 4 rays of light colliding crazily. The speed was so fast that most people couldn't see their battle clearly. Too strong, Sister Xiaojing exclaimed. Ji Webai was defeated by you before, mainly relying on the power of the Temple of Heaven and Man, but now he is much stronger than before. It seems that if the Temple of Heaven and Man becomes stronger, they will become stronger. Chen Shang said. The Temple of Heaven and Man has grown a lot. After all, there is time to help. Sister Xiaojing sighed. Why can they get the help of the power of time? These guys are not good people. At this moment, 2 more golden lights shot out from the Temple of Heaven and Man. There were 2 more people with the same strength as Ji Webai, and they should also be war masters of the temple. After they joined, the 3 brothers and sisters of Qingqing were immediately suppressed to death. The situation is not good. These temple warlords are too strong, and the stars seem to be unable to beat them. Sister Xiaojing said. They are indeed very strong. With my current strength, I can't fight them head-on. Chen Shang frowned. If Tianji Yuxing survives the Great Tribulation and enters the Divine Mirror of 6 Paths, then you 2 will be able to fight. Sister Xiaojing said. With the addition of 2 war masters from the temple, Qingqing and his 3 brothers and sisters obviously couldn't beat them. Chen Shang was watching the battle from a distance, and found that the 2 elder brothers were now in a hard fight, and they were protecting his younger sister everywhere. Although he couldn't hear what was being exchanged, he could tell that the brothers were desperately protecting his sister and letting her escape. Finally, a powerful force was injected into the bodies of the 2 elder brothers, and they were also sealed by Ji Webai with something, making them unable to move. Qingqing, who had been protected all this time, was already in tears at this moment, and her body was stabbed more than a dozen times by Ji Wubai with a spear, and more than a dozen blood holes were stabbed in her body. I don't know what power Ji Wubai injected into her body, causing her great pain. Even though the two elder brothers are desperate, Qingxing still has difficulty in escaping. At this moment, Chen Zhang's divine mirror of 6 paths flew over and slammed into Ji Wubai. Chen Shang, it's you again. Ji Wubai roared angrily after being knocked into the air. I'm defeated, long time no see, you've become a lot stronger. I'm a bit busy, so I won't fight with you, goodbye. After Chen Shang finished speaking, he took Qingxing and ran away resolutely. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5207, I don't know the danger. After Ji Wubai was slammed into the distance, he rushed to the position where Chen Shang was just now, but Chen Shang had already flown away, leaving only his voice echoing in his ears. The two war masters of the temple were also a little angry, because someone rescued people under their hands. Ji Wubai, is that guy the one who almost killed you last time? Asked a war master of the temple. Yes, he is definitely not my opponent now, so he can only run. Ji Wubai cursed in a low voice, this guy's ability to escape is really top-notch. He rescued the Starman, shall we go after him? Asked another war master of the temple. We are far away from the temple of heaven and man, so it is very likely that we can't beat him. Ji Wubai shook his head, and said, Chen Shang is very evil, anyway, we will kill all the stars sooner or later, didn't the female star die in our hands, is to die in the hands of the temple of time, let's go back first. After traveling through the space, the mirror of 6 paths flew quickly. Chen Shang was healing Qingxing's wounds. She was seriously injured, and her body was pierced by spears in many places. She was sobbing softly at the moment. Chen Shang didn't say anything, he was just helping her heal silently. Why, those people, why did they kill us? They clearly said before that they wanted to be friends with us. Qingxing cried, they killed my 2 brothers without giving any explanation, why? Qingxing looks like a mature and stunning beauty, but in Chen Zhang's eyes, she is just a little girl who has not experienced much in the world. People's hearts are sinister. Chen Shang only said 4 words. As long as you come into contact with all kinds of human beings, you will be beaten by all kinds of evil sooner or later. If you are lucky and strong, you can survive and learn a lesson. But, we didn't enmity with them at all. We never offended them, we were guests at their place before, and they invited us warmly. Why did they suddenly attack after we left? Qingxing couldn't figure it out. They wanted to kill you from the very beginning, and they deliberately treated you nicely, just to make you relax. When they finally chased you out, did you still think that they were sending you away? Chen Shang shook his head and sighed. Sunshine continued to cry. She now somewhat understands why Chen Shang said that people always feel pain when they are alive. She also said before that she wanted to show Chen Shang a happy life, and it hasn't been long since she experienced this kind of encounter. If it wasn't for Chen Zhang's actions, her encounter would be even worse. They killed my elder brother first, and then planned to take me back, saying that they would study me and make me have many children. They are really a group of demons. Qingxing's eyes were full of hatred. The most frightening thing is that these guys don't think they are doing evil. Chen Shang said. I want to kill them all. Qingxing shouted. It's difficult. Chen Shang sighed. Little brother, do you have a problem with them? You said earlier that that guy was your defeat. Can you defeat him? You don't look very strong. Qingxing hoped to kill Ji Wubai quickly. They weren't that strong before. After the Star Change era began, they became stronger. It's mainly because of the Temple of Heaven and Man. Chen Shang simply said that after the Celestial Temple devoured the stars, they became stronger, and then Ji Wubai and the others also relied on the power conveyed by the Celestial Temple to become strong. They didn't come after them because they couldn't stay away from the Temple of Heaven and Man, otherwise they wouldn't be my opponents. When Chen Shang fled, he intentionally left a lot of breath and clues, but Ji Wubai just didn't chase after him, so he was sure that Ji Wubai's power came from the Temple of Heaven and Man. Then why did they kill us? Qingxing still didn't understand. Because you are stronger than them. They believe that you are difficult to control. Chen Shang said. Those guys will think that everything beyond their control is caused by time disorder, and they want to correct all the power that cannot be controlled by them. Existence, for which it will not hesitate to destroy everything. Chen Shang has long seen through the Temple of Time and the Temple of Heaven and Man. They said they want to correct the disorder caused by time, but in fact they just don't admit that there are existences stronger than them, so they want to kill those forces that can override them. For this reason, they use the power of time to distort time and space, resulting in many collisions and entanglements of time and space, which led to such chaos. This kind of chaos cannot be repaired, and it will only become more and more chaotic, and finally lead to destruction. Chen Shang told Qingxing a lot about the Temple of Time, the Heavenly Man of Time, and the Star Spirit race. Qingxing is only now gradually understanding how chaotic this world is. You stars, when you were stars in the past, you may have only seen humans passing by or descending on the stars. You can't understand human activities and various behaviors. Chen Shang said. Now, you have turned into humans. If you still maintain the previous thinking, then the end will definitely be miserable. Sunshine is listening carefully. Chen Shang saved her, and she knew this place so well. She was also very grateful to Chen Shang. In Tiangu Purgatory, or in other words, in this world, no one is invincible, and survival is the kingly way. Chen Shang took care of Qingxing's injury, and then began to out the remaining power in her body. After Ji Wubai pierced her body, he injected a lot of messy tyrannical power, and was mutilating Qingxing's body. Chen Shang, then what should I do to take revenge? And in the future, I have to resist being killed by them. Qingxing asked. Unity. You need to unite the stars, or unite the forces of all parties. Chen Shang said. Qingxing just nodded, then closed her eyes and rested. Her mood is much more stable now, and she also accepted the fact that her brother died. The divine mirror of 6 paths flew towards Tianguxing at this time. When he went back, Tianguxing was still going through the tribulation. Coming here, Qingxing was awakened. Qingxing looked at Tianguxing in the distance, frowned and said, "What's the matter with this star?" "It's a very special star." Chen Shang asked. "Qingxing, what do you think of this star?" "It's been a long time since the tribulation has passed, and it still hasn't ended." Qingxing took a serious look, shook his head and said, "I'm not sure, I just think this star is a different kind, and it doesn't have the breath of a star." Tianguxing was originally a purgatory blood star. What Chen Shang is worried about now is what kind of mistakes Tianguxing encountered when he was crossing the tribulation. Qingxing said, "Brother Shen, I want to stay here, I want to watch this star survive the ancient calamity, is that okay?" Chen Shang nodded and said, "Yes." Chen Shang was originally waiting for the end of the Tianguxing's tribulation. They waited for a few days, but the ancient catastrophe was still going on. But at this moment, there was a sudden strong spatial fluctuation in the distance. Sensing the terrifying aura, Qingxing's expression changed, because it was the aura of the Temple of Heaven and Man she was very familiar with. The Temple of Heaven and Man is here. Chen Zhang's face darkened, and he looked towards the area of space fluctuations in the distance. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5208, Lu Dao Tiangu. The movement of Tiangu star is getting louder and louder, and the Temple of Heaven and Man has already sensed it. They are also worried that Tiangu star will bring them a great threat in the future, so they use a lot of energy to jump in space. Chen Shang watched from a distance, while Qingxing was extremely worried. She knew very well that they would definitely not be able to defeat the Temple of Heaven and Man now. However, if the Temple of Heaven and Man gets the ancient star, it will definitely be stronger, and it will be even more difficult for them to beat them in the future. Is there any other way? Qingxing was very sad and frustrated, and even shed tears. Of course there is a way. Chen Shang still has one last move, but he is not sure if it is feasible. If not, he can only think of a way to detonate Tianguxing in the end. Tianguxing is shrinking while crossing the catastrophe. After shrinking, it can enter the magic mirror of 6 paths. But now that the Temple of Heaven and Man has arrived, the divine mirror of the 6 paths is no longer allowed to survive the Great Tribulation. Chen Shang still has an ancient star of the 6 paths in the divine mirror of the 6 paths. What he needs to do now is to release the ancient star of the 6 paths and integrate it into the ancient star of the sky. In this way, Tianguxing will definitely undergo great changes, and the robbery power will definitely increase at that time. The advantage is that the powerful calamity brought by it will definitely scare away the Temple of Heaven and Man, but the disadvantage is also great. If the ancient star cannot stop the great calamity, it will definitely be destroyed. So Chen Shang is gambling now. Even if you can't keep the ancient star, you can't let the Temple of Heaven and Man get it. Chen Shang secretly contacted Ling Shu and told his plan. Ling Shu also agreed. Chen Shang released the magic mirror of 6 paths. A black ancient star of 6 paths emerged from the mirror surface of the huge mirror of 6 paths, and then rushed towards the ancient star of heaven. Seeing the ancient star of 6 paths, Qingqing was also taken aback, because she had never seen such a powerful yet small star. Brother Shen, did you create that? How did you create it? Qingqing has a strong feeling for stars, she can feel that the stars are not natural stars. The creation process is very complicated. Chen Shang said. Brother Shen, you intend to enhance the great tribulation of the ancient heaven and scare away the temple of heaven and man, don't you? Qingqing also saw Chen Zhang's intention. Chen Shang nodded. Although that star entered Tianguxing, the enhancement of Tianggu Great Tribulation is limited, because Tianguxing is stronger than that star. Qingqing shook his head and said, with the current strength of Tianren Temple, I am not afraid at all. Quote. Chen Shang also knew this, but he can only gamble now, he sighed and said, let's take one step at a time. Qingqing said, let me enter that star, I can guide the star, I can make the Great Tribulation stronger, and I will definitely scare away the temple of heaven and man. But it's dangerous, Chen Shang said. It's not dangerous, I know the stars very well. This ancient star is very confused now, although there are Protoss, but the prosthetics don't know what will happen in the future. Qingqing said. Okay, you go and try. If it's really dangerous, remember to run out quickly. Chen Shang hesitated for a while, and agreed to Qingqing. He took Qingqing there, and then let Qingqing fly to Tianguxing by himself. At this time, the Temple of Heaven and Man has released its power, ready to attack Tianguxing. While dealing with the Great Tribulation, Tianguxing resisted the interference from the Temple of Heaven and Man. Qingqing quickly entered the interior of that star, and without knowing what she did, she soon dominated the operation of Tianguxing. What surprised Chen Shang was that Qingqing could actually control Tianguxing to move fast, which was something Tianguxing could not do before. You must know that the current Tianguxing is not the same. While surviving the Tianggu Great Tribulation, it also faces pressure from many parties. But Qingqing can control Tianguxing to move quickly, how did it do it? Ling Shu can't do this, but he is still in contact with Chen Shang now. Master, a woman came in just now, is that the Qingqing girl you mentioned? She is really powerful, Ling Shu said. As soon as she came in, she completely controlled Tianguxing. Really, you couldn't do this before? Chen Shang asked. I can't do it, although I am the Protoss of the ancient star, I can't do anything beyond my strength. Ling Shu said. Although the ancient star is moving, the ancient catastrophe is still moving with it. After the ancient star circled far away, it suddenly rotated rapidly, and then rushed towards the Temple of Heaven and Man. The Temple of Heaven and Man did not expect this huge star to be so flexible suddenly, and could only immediately mobilize the strongest energy to avoid it. Under Qingqing's control, Tianguxing kept chasing the Temple of Heaven and Man. Although the Temple of Heaven and Man is large, because it has enough energy reserves, it can move quickly by relying on various large formations. If this continues, the Temple of Heaven and Man will definitely not be able to hold on, because once the ancient star approaches, it will definitely attract a strong celestial calamity. Chen Shang also understood Qingqing's thinking, that is to use offense instead of defense. Anyway, Chen Shang has already decided to go all out, this method is really worth a try. Brother, it's okay for her to be on the road so soon. Sister Xiaojing laughed. After the experience, you will grow up. Chen Shang said. The Temple of Heaven and Man can't take it anymore, facing the ancient catastrophe, everyone is very afraid. 2 days later, the Temple of Heaven and Man couldn't survive, so they could only retreat, otherwise they would consume a lot of energy and be very dangerous. After the Temple of Heaven and Man left, Qingqing still did not come out from inside Tianguxing, as if guiding Tianguxing to cross the catastrophe. Chen Shang has taken the ancient star of 6 paths into it now, and the ancient star of 6 paths has merged into the ancient star of Tian, so he doesn't know what the situation is now. Chen Shang originally planned to ask Ling Shu, but found that Ling Shu could not be contacted. Just when he was in a hurry, he suddenly saw a white light flying out. He thought it was a sunny star, but saw an old man flying towards him. What flew out turned out to be Ling Shu. Ling Shu, why is it you? Chen Shang asked. Master, why are you so disappointed when you see me? Ling Shu laughed and said, Tianguxing is given to that Qingqing girl, it's better to let her take care of it, she's more professional, I'm too useless. Is this the result of your discussions? Chen Shang asked. Yeah, she told me a lot of things, I can't remember. I only know that she is a person who is transformed into a star, and she has experienced the process of star transformation that the stars have experienced, so she is the most suitable star spirit of the ancient star. Ling Shu smiled and said, now I can be at ease, and I can travel to the ancient purgatory. Chen Shang didn't know whether it was a good thing or a bad thing, but if there was no Qingxing, Tianguxing couldn't get rid of the Temple of Heaven and Man just now. Chen Shang also knew that when Qingxing entered Tianguxing, he would definitely want to use Tianguxing's power to fight against the Temple of Heaven and Man, and this coincided with him. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5209, Light Range. What Chen Shang is worried about now is that Qingxing will abduct Tianguxing. After the ancient star of the sky and the ancient star of the six paths are fused, they will definitely be very powerful. If Qingxing controls the ancient star of the six paths, what will happen? So Chen Shang and Xiao Jing's younger sister decided that they must find a way to make Qingxing more rational. Qingxing's two elder brothers had just been killed, she must be eager for revenge and would do anything. But now, when Qingxing doesn't make a move, Ludaotian Guxing will definitely not be able to survive the last test. Otherwise, Chen Shang would not let Qingxing pass by. Brother, I hope she won't be overwhelmed by hatred. Although the ancient star of Ludaotian is not weak, it is still not enough to fight against the Temple of Heaven and Man. Even if the Temple of Heaven and Man can be destroyed, it will lose a lot. Then there is the Protoss and the Temple of Time, as well as powerful enemies from other layers of the ancient purgatory. Sister Xiao Jing is thinking about the long term. As long as there is the ancient star of Ludaotian, they can be evenly matched with those forces. If the ancient star of Ludaotian is gone, it will be difficult for them to make another ancient star of Ludaotian. Lu Daoji Yuxing and Tianji Yuxing can be said to be Chen Zhang's painstaking efforts. Now thinking of being controlled by Qingxing, Chen Shang and Xiao Jing's younger sister are very worried. We can only trust her. Chen Shang said, brother, you saved her life anyway, so she should listen to you, right? Sister Xiao Jing sighed, I'm afraid that she will go to the Temple of Heaven and Man for revenge if she gets mad. The ancient star of the six paths gradually stabilized. Although the Great Tribulation was still going on, the ancient star of the six paths appeared to be very stable at the moment, with a feeling of invulnerability. It can be seen that the ancient star of the six paths is currently improving in overall strength. Brother, under Qingxing's control, Ludaotian ancient star is growing rapidly, self-cultivation and self-breakthrough, she is indeed doing very well. Sister Xiao Jing said, as expected of a star, she knows the stars very well. In this way, how long will it take to overcome the Great Tribulation? Will the Great Tribulation become stronger? This is what Chen Shang is more worried about. I don't know either. Qingxing has experienced the ancient catastrophe of star change. She should know how to deal with it. After passing through the ancient catastrophe, Qingxing should guide how the ancient stars of the six paths will change. Sister Xiao Jing said. What kind of existence does the ancient star Ludaotian have after it completes its star transformation? In what direction will Qingxing guide it? Chen Shang is really worried now that the ancient star Ludaotian will not belong to them by then. They don't want to completely control the ancient star of the six paths, but just want to find a stable growth space through the ancient star of the six paths. While Chen Shang and Sister Xiao Jing were waiting, Ling Shu suddenly shouted, no, the Temple of Time is here. Sure enough, tens of thousands of huge mountain-like temples of time suddenly appeared, surrounding the six ancient star clusters. The ancient stars of the six paths spun quickly, and bounced off the falling power of the ancient catastrophe, all rushing towards the temples of time. Boom boom boom. There were bursts of explosions, and thousands of time temples were instantly shattered by the ancient catastrophe, leaving no residue. Such a powerful temple of time, but also so strong, can't stop the power that erupted from the ancient catastrophe. The great calamity that is coming now includes fire calamity, thunder calamity and all kinds of flashes of light. The ancient star of Ludaotian just knocked these powers away, destroying 10,000 temples of time in an instant. The Temple of Time must have learned about the situation here from the Temple of Heaven and Man, and then came to try it if they didn't believe in evil, but it disappeared immediately. Ling Shu exclaimed, if it were me, I don't know if I can do it. That girl Qingxing is really amazing. Seeing this, Chen Shang became even more worried, because Qingxing's control over Lu Daotian Ancient Star was getting stronger and stronger, and it might become an inseparable part of Lu Daotian Ancient Star. After a few days, the Great Tribulation finally gradually disappeared. The Temple of Heaven and Man and the Temple of Time have never appeared again. There is a layer of phosgene shrouded in the ancient star of Ludo-ocean, and the stars can't be seen, but what is certain is that the ancient star of Ludo-ocean has become very small now. Even with the phosgene shrouded outside, it still looks very small. Ling Shu, what's the situation with the ancient planet Ludo-ocean now? Did we land on it? Chen Shang asked. I don't know, I'll take a closer look, Ling Shu said, and then flew over. Not long after, he flew back again. What's the matter? Chen Shang hurriedly asked. Miss Qingxing said that the ancient star of Ludo-ocean has just passed through the great catastrophe of the ancient sky, and is still undergoing a star transformation. As for what will happen after the star transformation, she can't decide. Ling Shu said. Ah, she didn't decide it, I thought she could control it, Chen Shang said in surprise. Of course not, the star change is a natural decision of the heavens and the earth. I don't know why it is so. Ling Shu spread his hands and said. Miss Qingxing also said that the process of star change will not be too long. We just wait patiently, it is good. At this moment, tens of thousands of time temples suddenly appeared, and that huge temple of heaven and man also appeared. In addition, there are dozens of huge stars. Those huge stars are the Protoss. The Star Spirit Clan, the Temple of Time, and the Temple of Heaven and Man, they're here. Ling Shu scolded in a low voice, these guys, come here now, they're really bastards. Can the ancient star Ludo-ocean resist it now? Chen Shang was also very anxious. I don't know, I'll ask. Ling Shu flew over, and then sent a message to Chen Shang from a distance. Master, the ancient star Ludo-ocean is going to make a space jump. Miss Qingxing said that she didn't know where she was going, anyway, stay away from here. Chen Shang immediately asked Xiao Jing's younger sister to mark the ancient star of Ludo-ocean, so that he could know where he ran to. Ling Shu said again, Master, Miss Qingxing said, we can go with the ancient star Ludo-ocean. That's great. Chen Shang immediately controlled the magic mirror of 6 paths to fly over. At this time, the ancient star of Ludo-ocean began to spin rapidly, and the fluctuations in the surrounding space became extremely violent. After Chen Shang and Ling Shu flew over, the ancient star of Ludo-ocean trembled violently, and then disappeared in an instant. Chen Shang and Ling Shu followed Ludo-ocean ancient star to a space surrounded by intense white lights. This may be the light domain, Ling Shu said. Run to the light realm. It's too far. Chen Shang was surprised, and then looked around. What happened to the flame realm before that? The 18th floor of the ancient purgatory collapsed, the flame realm became dark, and the light realm, the domain, still maintains its original appearance. I don't know, maybe the light domain is different. Ling Shu looked around, but couldn't see the stars. Because there is light everywhere here, the light emitted by the stars is not as strong as the light emitted by the light field, so if you look at the distance and see the white light everywhere, you can't see the stars. Coming to the light realm, Chen Shang always felt different from the flame realm, because in the light realm, he felt as if he was very weak, and that kind of light made him feel uncomfortable all over. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5210, Secondary Star Change. Chen Shang and Ling Shu are also staying away from the ancient star of Ludo-ocean now, because the ancient star of Ludo-ocean has not completely completed its star transformation and is still emitting strong light and heat. If they don't stay away, they can't bear it. Qingxing, is this the light realm? Chen Shang released powerful soul power, entered the 6 paths ancient star, and asked Qingxing. Yes, this is about it. It's the holy place that stars yearn for the most. Qingxing said. Although this place is also very complicated, it is much better than the previous Yanyu. My brothers and I originally planned to find a way to go to Guangyu, yes, only later. Although Qingxing is sad, she can restrain her emotions now. Brother Shen, it's not a bad thing for this star to come to Guangyu, you don't have to worry, I know your feelings for this star, I can clearly feel it, and I will cherish this star. Qingxing now also knows how the ancient star Ludo-ocean was formed, and Chen Shang has poured a lot of his own effort into it. Can I return to the flame domain? Chen Shang asked. The Tianggu Star Alliance is still in the flame domain, he has to pick them up. Of course, I can help you go back when the time comes. When you want to come, I can also pick you up. Qingxing said, but we have to wait for this star to completely complete its transformation. I see. Chen Shang looked at the far distance of the light field, there was a vast expanse of white light, he couldn't see anything, there were no stars twinkling, it seemed empty. But he is very clear that there are many powerful stars in the light field, and these stars are covered by the strong light of the light field. Qingxing said suddenly, Brother Shen, although the heavenly man of time and the temple of time are very powerful, they are indeed our enemies, but I think we will face far more enemies than them in the future. Chen Shang sighed. There are many powerful existences in other layers of the collapsed heavenly ancient purgatory, and they are our enemies. Of course, as long as the Temple of Heaven and Man and the Temple of Time still exist, they will always be our strongest enemy. The Temple of Time seems to be endless, it will always pop up, no matter how you kill it, you can't finish it. This is what makes Chen Shang feel desperate. We are not their only enemy. As a large number of stars complete their star transformation, more and more star people will be born. They will never be able to control the star people, so they want to kill the star people, but this is impossible. Qingxing said. Star people do not reproduce directly, but are conceived through the stars. As long as the power of time is still there, there will be a steady stream of creative power, and a large number of stars with huge energy can be created. After the stars are transformed into stars, some of them will become starmen. The Temple of Time and the Temple of Heaven and Man will never be able to kill the starmen. Chen Shang said. Stars are also created by the power of time, and the power we master all comes from the power of creation. The so-called power of creation is the energy derived from the movement of time. But the Temple of Time and the Temple of Heaven and Man, because of we won't be controlled by them after we gain these powers, so it doesn't make sense to destroy us. Qingxing said. That's true, maybe, we should kill them. The current Qingxing has already realized a lot, and seeing that her character is still stable, Chen Shang feels much more at ease. He and his younger sister Xiaojing were very worried before that after Qingxing took control of Ludao Tianguxing, he would go to the Temple of Heaven and Man to do his best. Now it seems that he will not, but will consider longer-term things. Chen Shang asked. Qingxing, what will the ancient star of Ludaocean become after completing its star transformation? Can you decide the direction? Qingxing said. I can't decide, I'm just an observer. The direction of this star is determined by heaven and earth. Do you want to come in and observe with me? Is it okay? Of course Chen Shang wanted to go in. Of course, both you and Senior Ling Shu can come in. Qingxing said. Chen Shang asked Ling Shu, he didn't want to go in, and now he seemed to have some shadow on the interior of Ludaocean ancient star. The space around Chen Shang fluctuated, and Qingxing took him in. After entering, Chen Shang felt as if he had come to a crystal palace. This was Qingxing's residence, and she was transformed into this. In this crystal palace, you can see all kinds of intense rays of light, which are all composed of the energy of the ancient stars of the six paths. Qingxing, with disheveled hair, was sitting on a soft couch. Her beautiful eyes were like stars. Her beautiful eyes were full of fantasy and beauty, causing her beautiful face to be eclipsed. When she looked at Chen Shang lost his mind for an instant. Because when he looked directly into Qingxing's eyes, he only felt that he was trapped in the sea of AA stars and couldn't extricate himself, as if he was enveloped by the gentle starlight and wrapped in various natural fragrances. Qingxing has become stronger, stronger. Chen Shang looked at Qingxing and exclaimed, Qingxing, is this really you? It's very different from before. Qingxing smiled softly, and said, Brother Shen, because of this star, I will also carry out the second star transformation. Ah, the second star change. Chen Shang was astonished. Yes, I am Qingxing. Although I have become a human, I am still a star. Qingxing smiled softly, with charming eyes, and said softly, thank you, big brother Shen. Chen Shang smiled and said, you're welcome, you're welcome. Qingxing was silent for a while, and lowered her head slightly, as if she was thinking about something. After a while, she said, Brother Shen, I haven't completed the second stage of star transformation yet. Chen Shang frowned and said, isn't it finished? I think you've already finished it, it's very strong. Qingxing suddenly raised her head and looked at Chen Shang, her beautiful eyes like stars revealed infinite tenderness, and said, I am a star, but I want to be a real person. As she spoke, she stood up, then walked towards Chen Shang and leaned into his arms, whispering, Brother Shen, can you help me? Chen Zhang's heart beat faster. Qingxing was actually thinking about this kind of thing. Chen Shang wanted to refuse in his heart, but Qingxing didn't give him the chance, and kissed him directly. Chen Shang has experienced this kind of thing many times, so he just let it take its course. The two embraced together. Qingxing curiously explored all kinds of novelties, and the two also felt each other's strange emotions. I don't know how long it has passed. Chen Shang looked at Qingxing who was lying beside him, and said, Qingxing, I don't know what kind of feelings you have for me, but I can't be considered a good man. Qingxing smiled lightly and said, I know, you don't have to think so much, I just want to use your body to untangle my state of mind and let me understand the feeling of being a human being better. Following that, she leaned against Chen Zhang's arms again, and said, Brother Shen, no matter what happens, I will always be your star. Chen Shang hugged her in his arms and kissed her. At this moment, Qingxing's body emitted a faint white light, looking holy and perfect. This is the completion of the second star change, she said. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5211, Star Queen. Chen Shang embraced Qingxing, looked with wide eyes, only felt that the peerless beauty in his arms was getting hotter and hotter, and the light and heat radiating from her body had already started to burn Chen Zhang's skin. My love, from now on we have to keep our distance. Qingxing wanted to ask Chen Shang, but she stopped and could only pout in the air. Chen Shang really wanted to hug her hard, but because the light and heat were too strong, he had to let go. Qingxing floated to the middle of the crystal palace, suspended in the air, and the light and heat on his body became stronger and stronger. Even though she was still far away from Chen Shang at this time, Chen Zhang's skin began to turn red and scorched black. Let's go. Qingxing was very heartbroken, and said to Chen Shang, I believe in you, and you will definitely be able to fall in love with me again in the future. Qingxing, really useless. Chen Shang really couldn't hold it anymore. Even with the help of Lu Dao Shen Jing and Xiao Jing's younger sister, he still couldn't stop the terrifying light and heat. Qingxing after the second star change, and she is the core of Ludaotian ancient star, so she is very powerful at the moment. Chen Shang had no choice but to leave. After he came outside, Sister Xiao Jing immediately helped him heal his injuries. Ling Shu saw Chen Shang coming out from the outside, and said in surprise, Master, what's going on inside? Why did you shed a layer of skin after you went in? Chen Shang was indeed burned to the point of peeling off a layer of skin. That kind of light and heat still scares him. Qingxing himself has undergone star transformation twice, and may stay in the ancient star of Ludaotian forever in the future. If he wants to find Qingxing, unless he is strong enough to resist that kind of light and heat. Chen Shang sighed. The ancient star of Ludaotian is undergoing a star change, and Miss Qingxing, she has undergone a second star change. Ling Shu exclaimed in shock, has her second star changed? Yes, Ling Shu, what do you know? Chen Shang asked. Ling Shu used to be considered as a star spirit clan, he might know what the second star change is. She is a star person, and she has undergone a second star change so soon. This is incredible. According to legend, this kind of existence will become the emperor of star people. She is very likely to become the queen of all star people in the future. Ling Shu was very excited. It was a pleasant surprise. Great, the star queen is born. Chen Shang was also shocked. The star spirit clan still has this kind of legend. He wondered, but it seems that Qingxing can't leave the ancient star of Ludaotian now. Is she trapped in it? Become the star core of ancient star of Ludaotian? Ling Shu said. She has undergone a second star change through the ancient star of Ludaotian, and that is her palace. She will definitely not be able to leave in a short time, because she is now in a symbiotic relationship with the ancient star of Ludaotian. In the future, the ancient star of Ludaotian, both Xing and her are strong enough to be independent of each other and can maintain their status quo, so they should be able to separate. So that's the case, then can we still use the ancient star of Ludaotian? This is one of the few places we can go to. I can't find a better place for everyone to live in. When Chen Shang tossed the ancient star of the six paths before, it was to prevent the ancient star of the sky from disappearing, and then there was another ancient star of the six paths. But now, the ancient star Lu Dao was forced to merge into the ancient star Tian, so Chen Shang didn't have any good alternative plans. Ling Shu said, Master, don't worry. There are only a few people in our Tianghu Star Alliance. Even though the Lu Dao Tianghu Star seems small, it is not a problem to accommodate that few people. Chen Shang looked around and said, we are in the light domain, and I don't know how it will compare with the flame domain. It won't be much better. Guangyu also has the Temple of Time and the Temple of Heaven and Man. You should be very clear about the virtues of these guys. Ling Shu shook his head and said, fortunately, Miss Qingxing has completed the second star transformation, which should be fine. What's the problem? Chen Shang nodded. Now he can only wait for the ancient stars of the six paths to take over all the members of the ancient star alliance. At that time, he will ask Qingxing to send him to Leiyu to find Aoshi universe. Chen Shang can still communicate with Qingxing now. After he diffused his soul power, he will be able to communicate with Qingxing soon. Qingxing, how are you doing now? Chen Shang asked. I'm not sure, I have a very strange feeling now, probably because I'm one of the few stars who have completed the second star transformation, they can perceive my location. Qingxing said. Maybe, they need your leadership. Chen Shang told Qingxing about the Star Queen that Lingshu had said. I'm afraid I won't be able to take on the important task. Qingxing said. I'm not the only star person who completed the second star transformation. I can feel that there are still others in other domains. There are currently several people in total, and I am not the first. Chen Shang was secretly startled. Qingxing was not the only one, she was considered very fast. There must be a lot of star people, and several of them can complete the second star change in a short period of time, which shows that those few people are either lucky or capable. Qingxing continued. It's too early to talk about the Emperor of the Stars, because there are 3 star changes and 4 star changes in the future. Chen Shang thinks it is also right, the matter of the Starman is definitely clearer about the matter of the Starman, and Lingshu is only guessing based on the legend. What he's worried about now is that the star people will come and harass Qingxing. Qingxing, what are you going to do if some stars come here? Chen Shang asked. Will you accept them in Ludo-Ocean Ancient Star? No, the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean does not belong to me, it belongs to you. I will not accept them. And the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean is not suitable for star people, only for human beings. If the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean comes to the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean, it will only destroy it and cannot protect it good. Qingxing resolutely refused, indicating that she had already thought about it. Chen Shang and Lingshu, now they don't have any control over the Ancient Star Ludo-Ocean, they can't enter the inner core space, and they can't even see the internal situation. But Qingxing can, even though she allows Chen Shang to enter the inner core space, but Chen Zhang's current strength can't resist the light and heat of Ludo-Ocean Ancient Star's inner core, and the light and heat of Qingxing, so he can't enter. Therefore, only Qingxing knows the current situation of Ancient Star Ludo-Ocean, and she can be regarded as the real master of Ancient Star Ludo-Ocean. Qingxing, is the blood of purgatory still there? What has it become now? Chen Shang asked. In the current situation in the ancient purgatory, the blood of purgatory must have changed a lot, and it is different from before. I'll go and have a look, I didn't pay attention to it before. Qingxing said. The specific situation may have to wait for Ludo-Ocean Ancient Star to completely complete the star transformation before we can be sure. Chen Shang could only wait patiently now, wanting to see how the 6-Day-Ocean Ancient Star that completed the star transformation would be. Master, the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean should not turn into a living thing, right? Lingshu frowned and said, there are many directions after the star change, and I don't know in which direction the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean will change. Chen Shang shook his head. He only hoped that Ludao Tiangu Xing would be a good place to stay and become his home in Tiangu Purgatory. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5212, Lightfield Galaxy. Chen Shang is very nervous now, because he is really worried about the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean. Now Qingxing is in the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean, and the place they are in is the strange place of Guangyu. In addition, Chen Shang didn't have enough strength, he couldn't control the situation at all. Ludo-Ocean Ancient Star was in the stage of star transformation, and the movement released did not seem to be very big, but because Qingxing was inside, she completed the second star transformation, so there was already a lot of movement before. Lingshu saw Chen Zhang's worry, and said, Master, don't worry about it, the Ancient Star Ludo-Ocean can take good care of himself, so he won't be snatched away so easily. Lingshu used to be the Protoss of the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean, so he now knows how strong the Ancient Star of Ludo-Ocean is. Chen Shang nodded, he also told himself so, but he still couldn't help worrying. The star change process of Ludao Tian Ancient Star is relatively long. Chen Shang and Lingshu have been waiting here for more than half a month, but there is no movement at all, it seems that it has not been completed yet. And Chen Shang couldn't contact Qingxing anymore. Every once in a while, he would contact Qingxing. At first, Qingxing responded, but then gradually, until now, he hardly responded, and he didn't know what he was doing. Suddenly, the Ancient Star Ludo-Ocean moved, and it was moving in one direction. It was relatively slow at first, but it gradually accelerated. No, hurry up, Lingshu shouted. Chen Shang and Lingshu immediately chased after him. The Ancient Star of 6 Paths was flying faster and faster, causing Chen Shang and Ling Shu to be unable to catch up, and had to release the magic mirror of 6 paths. Even if the divine mirror of the 6 paths was flying, it couldn't catch up to the ancient star of the 6 paths, and was quickly thrown away. Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, don't worry, I marked the ancient star Ludocean, and the ancient star Ludocean flew so fast, it also left traces along the way, we will definitely find it." The ancient star Ludocean flew extremely fast, and in the light field, it rubbed and collided with a large amount of light mist, leaving a long colored light tail along the way. So it is still very easy for Chen Shang and the others to track down the ancient star Lu Daotian. Chen Shang just felt very strange. Why did Ludocean ancient star suddenly have such a fast speed? Could it be that Qingxing suddenly exerted strength? He didn't think so. If Qingxing suddenly wanted to control Ludocean Guxing, he would definitely be notified. Chen Shang and Ling Shu stood on the divine mirror of 6 paths, and followed the traces of the ancient star of 6 paths at an extremely fast speed. Ling Shu said, "The distance is getting farther and farther. It's unbelievable how such a big star can fly so fast." Chen Shang was very anxious in his heart, very worried that the ancient star Lu Daotian would just run away, and the traces left in front gradually faded, and the light mist in the light domain was gradually corroding the traces left behind. Fortunately, Sister Xiaojing could mark Lu Daotianguxing. Sister Xiaojing said, "It is true that we are getting farther and farther away from us, but it doesn't matter. As long as we continue to chase and make sure I can perceive it, then we will not lose track." Chen Shang asked, "Impossible. Isn't the ancient star of Ludocean in the stage of star transformation? Why is it flying so fast?" Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, the ancient star Ludocean didn't fly over by itself, but was pulled by some force. In short, it is a very mysterious and powerful strange force." Chen Shang was immediately surprised, and said, "Could it be the power of time? Did the Temple of Time or the Temple of Heaven and Man intervene?" Sister Xiaojing said, "Probably not at all. We'll find out after we chase after it, and then we'll ask Qingxing, she should know what's going on, and she seems to be able to feel that power." Qingxing had indeed chatted with Chen Shang before, and came into contact with a very mysterious and powerful force, so she studied it seriously, and had less contact with Chen Shang. It's just that they didn't expect that the power suddenly increased, and even dragged the ancient star of Ludocean away. "Brother, I suspect that Qingxing may have fallen into a deep sleep. It is very likely that she absorbed a lot of energy and then fell into a deep sleep. Ludocean ancient star was in an unguarded situation and was dragged away." Sister Xiaojing said, "It can be seen that the ancient star of Ludocean has a high value, and it was targeted so quickly. The light domain is a very mysterious domain in the ancient purgatory. This domain must be very powerful, and it is unknown what powerful existence has been bred over the years." Not long after, Sister Xiaojing suddenly said, "It stopped, the ancient star of Ludocean did not continue to move. In this way, as long as the divine mirror of the 6 paths continues to fly over, it will be able to catch up to the ancient star of the 6 paths." They flew for more than a month, and also traveled through space many times, and finally saw the ancient star Ludocean. And the area they came to is also very strange. The light and fog here is very thin, and at a glance, you can see densely packed stars forming a galaxy. There are also many stars in the fire domain, but there has never been such a shocking scene like a galaxy. It shows that there are a large number of stars gathered in this area, and it is a place where the stars are very dense, and it is emitting strong light and fog to the outside. The ancient star of Ludocean came here. Could it be that this galaxy can catch stars? Qingxing, how are you doing now?" Chen Shang asked. "The ancient star Ludocean has traveled a long distance, can you feel it?" Qingxing finally replied, "I can feel it. This seems to be a galaxy, many stars gather here, and the ancient stars of Ludocean are sucked by the galaxy. There are not only many stars here, but they are also very strong. Most of them should have survived the ancient calamity, right? Are they completing the star transformation?" Chen Shang looked at the peaceful stars in the distance, only a few of them were twinkling, it was a sign of crossing the ancient catastrophe. "I don't know. Anyway, I was sucked here in a daze. Fortunately, you can keep up. The speed is really too fast. How can this galaxy have such power?" Qingxing also felt incredible. At this moment, Chen Shang saw a group of people flying over, and he immediately hid. There were dozens of people who came, they were wearing white robes, and after seeing the ancient star of Ludocean, they flew down directly. Chen Shang looked very dissatisfied, but he couldn't make a move, because those dozens of people all looked like star people, and they had a strong star man's aura. Sister Xiaojing said, "Xiao Yun, let's follow and have a look." The divine mirror of 6 paths carried Chen Shang and Ling Shu, and followed behind the group of people, trying to get close to the ancient star of 6 paths. The ancient star Lu Dao Tian also sensed someone approaching, and then burst out a burst of strong starlight, knocking out all the people in the group. Chen Shang is fine, that kind of starlight doesn't seem to hurt him. Because of being blown away, the group of people were very angry and clamored to attack the star. Do you like this sight? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5213, Star People. They are all stars, how come they have such virtues? Chen Shang was very puzzled, because he met Qingxing and her brother before, they were very polite. Stars also have ranks of 3, 6, and 9. These guys are probably the worst ones. Ling Shu said, "Master, don't worry about them attacking the ancient star of Ludocean. With their current strength, they can't do anything to the ancient star of Ludocean. The current Ludocean ancient star is so strong, even if the star transformation has not been completed, it cannot be shaken by this group of stars, let alone Qingxing is still inside." Chen Shang just felt strange, why there are so many stars in this galaxy, and the stars here are very powerful, what kind of force is it that attracts them here? At this time, more and more stars have arrived here, and they can't get close to the ancient star of Ludocean now, they can only shout in the distance, and then bombard the ancient star of Ludocean from a distance from time to time. Even though they couldn't hurt the ancient star of Ludocean, Chen Shang was somewhat displeased seeing their bad behavior, not to mention that Qingxing was still in the ancient star of Ludocean. Chen Shang is also not strong enough now, if he is strong enough, he will definitely go and beat this group of people away. Both Chen Shang and Ling Shu were watching from a distance, and they also hid themselves well, trying not to be discovered by those stars. If they found out, they would definitely come and make trouble. The appearance of the ancient star Lu Dao Tian in this galaxy caused a lot of commotion, and there are quite a few stars here, so now it has attracted a large number of stars. Chen Shang found that this group of stars was very noisy, and they were all shouting and killing. They seemed to be mainly male, and their behavior was very barbaric. Qingxing is also a starman, completely different from them. The ancient star of Ludocean is spinning rapidly, and when it is spinning, there is a burst of suction, as if it is releasing the Lu Dao Taiji formation, it is absorbing energy from all directions. There are a large number of powerful stars in the Milky Way, and the ancient star Lu Daocean is absorbing the energy of those stars right now. The ancient star of the 6 paths is devouring it. This is not good. After Ling Shu saw it, he was suddenly very worried, because it would arouse the resentment of other stars. However, if the ancient star Lu Dao Tian was brought to this place, there must be some force behind it, so even if the ancient star Lu Dao Tian devoured the energy of other stars, it should be allowed. Qingxing suddenly sent a message to Chen Shang, saying, "Brother Shen, the star transformation of the Ludocean ancient star is about to enter the final stage, you stay away." When Chen Shang heard the news, he immediately fled away. The ancient star of Ludocean also began to tremble at this time, and waves of energy oscillated along with the fast rotation of the stars. Those star people near the ancient star Ludocean were all enveloped by that violent energy at this moment. They could have flown away, but the energy suddenly increased, and it was also swept towards the ancient star Ludocean with a suction force. In this way, even those powerful stars were torn apart in this energy fluctuation. Tens of thousands of stars died in the blink of an eye. Those star people who escaped had lingering fears. They had seen many powerful stars, but they had never seen such a terrifying one. Chen Shang was terrified when he saw it in the distance. Is the ancient star of Ludocean so powerful? Brother, those stars are so strong that they can't stop this kind of energy explosion, which means that the stars in Tianghu Purgatory are getting stronger and stronger. Sister Xiaojing said, "There must be other stronger stars, fish." Chen Shang also felt the same way. Stars like Qingxing were truly powerful, but even they couldn't defeat those war masters of the Temple of Heaven and Man. The ancient planet Ludocean continued to oscillate, and at the same time as it swirled rapidly, a large cyclone appeared outside, causing the ancient star Ludocean to look like it suddenly expanded and became much larger, but in fact it was only because there were a large number of gas clouds covering it. Not long after, a large number of stars came over. Chen Shang understood now that this galaxy is very likely to be the gathering place of the stars. Maybe it is the place where the stars were bred in the ancient purgatory, that's why there are so many stars. The star people who came this time were stronger than before, and the number was relatively small, only a few dozen people. They looked at the ancient star of Ludo-ocean, and then released a large array, as if they were tossing something. Chen Shang thought of Huang Jintian, this group of stars might be thinking of something. After more than an hour, Chen Shang heard very excited shouts from those dozens of stars. The other stars who were watching from a distance could only watch from a distance, and it was obvious that they did not dare to approach the dozens of stars. Chen Shang guessed that the current Starman stage may still be in the era of many tribes, and the Starman has divided into many groups and tribes. Those dozens of stars were chatting about something. Ling Shu seemed to be able to hear them talking, and then whispered, "Master, they figured out that there is a Star Queen inside. They said they want the Star Queen to give birth to a large number of warriors for their tribe, and they want to board the Ludo-ocean ancient star to seize it. Star Queen or something. How can this be done?" Chen Shang became angry when he heard that. Qing Xing belonged to him, and Lu Daotian Jiyu Xing also belonged to him. "Master, this galaxy should be a river of stars. The ancient stars of Ludo-ocean were dragged here, and it is very likely that the galaxy sensed Miss Qing Xing." Ling Shu said, "It must not be a good thing to stay here. After the ancient star of Ludo-ocean completes its star transformation, it is best to stay away as soon as possible. The Ludo-ocean ancient star is still violently fluctuating energy, spewing out a large amount of gas clouds, and the central area emits strong light, and it is impossible to see what happened." Chen Shang was trying his best to contact Qing Xing, wanting to know the situation inside, but Qing Xing didn't respond. In the blink of an eye, a few days passed. More and more aliens arrived one after another. They were indeed tribes. There were even several large and small battles. Some tribes of aliens would fight if they disagreed. And the nebula outside the ancient star of Ludo-ocean is also introverted, and changes are gradually accelerating. Seen from a distance, the nebula of Ludo-ocean ancient star seems to be turning into a human form after surging rapidly. From the outline, it is a sitting statue of a graceful woman. Could it be a sunny star? Turn into a sunny star? Chen Shang was shocked. The huge star turned into a portrait, and it also emitted strong light in the galaxy, which is indeed a very eye-catching existence. Chen Shang is working ******* Qing Xing, but still can't get in touch. Maybe Qing Xing is in a certain state with Ludo-ocean ancient star. Ling Shu shouted in shock, "Master, is the ancient star of Ludo-ocean going to become the girl Qing Xing?" After the star change, it became like this. This is not very good. Before Chen Shang thought that he could keep the stars in the best condition, so he could bring the Tianggu Star Alliance over, but now that he has turned into a human form, will this huge human-shaped star still be able to move in the future? World Defying Dan God Chapter 5214, Purgatory. The sudden and huge change of the ancient star of Ludo-ocean also made many stars feel panic, or excited. Some star people panic because they fear that this humanoid star will bring disaster. The excited star people are even more convinced that there is a star queen there, and they all very much hope to ***** the queen and give them a powerful group. Chen Shang continued to contact Qing Xing, but he was still unable to contact him. He was really anxious now, because both Ludo-ocean Guxing and Qing Xing were very important to him. Especially Qing Xing, that is his man. If something goes wrong, he will not forgive himself. Chen Shang now understands that this galaxy is a gathering place for all kinds of stars, and there must be a force that gathers them here. Because Qing Xing was inside the ancient star of Lu Daotian, after being sensed by that force, the entire ancient star of Lu Daotian was moved here. For the ancient star of Lu Dao, this place is not good, because the stars here are too complicated, and the ancient star of Lu Dao is so bright, especially now there is a queen of stars in it. Chen Shang was so anxious, he could only watch as there was nothing he could do. It was an incomparably huge change in the stars. Chen Zhang's strength simply couldn't intervene. With the strength of the ancient star Lu Daotian, no one can intervene. That group of things have all sorts of nasty ideas about Qing Xing. They're talking about the Star Queen, but they want Qing Xing to be their breeding slave. Chen Shang was very annoyed. If Lu Daotian Jiyu Xing stayed here, Qing Xing would definitely be frequently harassed by various powerful stars. Sister Xiaojing suddenly said, "Xiao Yun, the ancient star of Ludo-ocean is still there. Look at the Xingyan portrait in the middle, it should be the ancient star of Ludo-ocean." The ancient star Ludocean just gushed out a cloud of gas and turned into a portrait. It didn't disappear, it was still in the nebula. Seeing that the ancient star Ludocean was still there, Chen Shang was much more relieved. Suddenly, the nebula image of the sunny star moved, and it seemed to be moving away from the galaxy, and it was moving very fast. Go, let's follow. The mirror of the six paths immediately flew over, and a large group of star people also shouted, and then flew towards the ancient star of the six paths. They're both fast, and they both seem to be able to jump through space somehow. The ancient star Ludocean left Xinghe, and Xinghe also released a strong suction force, as if to keep the ancient star Ludocean. There are strong lights everywhere in the light field, and it is normal only to have a galaxy in this place. And now the ancient star Ludocean, which has turned into a huge human figure, has gradually entered into the white sea of AA light. After the ancient star of the six paths entered the sea of AA light, those stars didn't chase after it. They seemed to be afraid of the light. Chen Shang was not afraid, so he immediately followed. The speed of Ludocean ancient star is getting faster and faster, as fast as it was sucked by the galaxy before. Chen Shang followed behind. He could only catch up by jumping through space, otherwise he would be thrown off soon. The light in the light field is too strong. Even if the ancient star Ludocean bursts out with strong light, it is all covered by the sea of AA light, and the ancient star Ludocean cannot be seen at all. The ancient star of Ludocean flew for a long time, and stopped only when it came to a place where the light cloud was very dense. The ancient star of Ludocean quickly spun itself, scrolling the light energy around it, devouring and absorbing the light frantically. Chen Shang also stopped in the distance, because he didn't dare to approach. The energy changes there were too violent. If he approached, he would definitely be affected. He still continued to contact Qingxing, tried for a long time, and finally got in touch. Qingxing, you scared me to death. What's going on with Ludocean ancient star? Chen Shang asked. It is in the process of star transformation, and it will be completed soon. Qingxing said. Ludocean ancient star is not only star transformation, but also creation after star transformation. Creation? Chen Shang asked in surprise. What does the ancient star Ludocean want to create? The ancient star of the six paths is going to open up wasteland in the ancient purgatory and create a piece of land. The light in the light field is very rich in creation power. The time here is chaotic, and an orderly land can be formed in a short period of time. Sunny Star said. Ah. Then I saw that the ancient star Ludocean changed into your appearance. Chen Shang was very shocked. Ludocean ancient star's ambition is so big. Yes, there will be a statue of me at that time, which will be the center of Tianghu Purgatory. Qingxing said. Brother Shen, you should stay away from this place as soon as possible. The light in the light domain will soon solidify and turn into land. In the end, it will spread to the entire ancient purgatory. Chen Shang was shocked again. He originally thought that the earth created by the ancient star of the six paths might only be in the light domain, but he didn't expect to turn the entire ancient purgatory into the earth. When the ancient purgatory turns into the earth, the stars will be in the sky, and the earth is so big, it will definitely gather a lot of energy. What will the ancient purgatory become then? Then, what about places like Yanulayu? Chen Shang asked. Qingxing, what about you? How can I see you then? You can come to this statue to find me when the time comes. I belong to you. Qingxing said. I will wait for you to come. At this time, there was a spatial fluctuation, like a wave. After the place where the divine mirror of six paths was located was impacted, it was pushed far away in the blink of an eye. Chen Shang couldn't go to the place where the ancient star Ludocean was, and he also temporarily lost the ancient star Ludocean and Qingxing, but Qingxing said that she belonged to him. And after the ancient star of the six paths turned into the earth, he must also be able to obtain some lawful power on this land. The shocking space fluctuations were pushed far, far away by Chen Shang, and he returned to the flame domain. It's back, Chen Shang exclaimed. I never expected that the star change of the ancient star Ludocean would be so loud. He told Ling Shu that the ancient planet of the six paths was going to create the earth. Master, it is very likely that the ancient purgatory gave the ancient star Ludao some mission. Such a huge change cannot be accomplished by the ancient star Ludao. Ling Shu said. I don't know, Qingxing didn't tell me too much. Chen Shang shook his head. He took out the communication talisman, and contacted Huang Jintian. He wanted to summon the entire Tianghu Star Alliance. Perhaps, when the earth becomes complete, maybe the chaos brought about by time will end in the future. The earth is equivalent to solidifying the creation force and the power of time, and does not allow time to change. Ling Shu said. And now the sky, the ancient purgatory, is made up of chaotic time. A group of time people are making trouble. As long as time is sealed in the earth, won't everything be fine? Chen Shang thinks that what Ling Shu said is very likely to be correct. Tianghu Purgatory should have also produced its own consciousness, and it is also fighting against time. It is said that it is the era of star change, but in fact, it is the ancient purgatory itself that is changing. The ancient purgatory in the past was an endless void, but now the void is to be solidified into the earth, which must gather a lot of energy. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5215, Big Collapse. After Chen Shang contacted Huang Jintian, he was going to look for them, but Huang Jintian said that the Tianghu Star Alliance is now gathering together and hiding. Huang Jintian also told Chen Shang that there will be earth-shaking changes in Tianghu Purgatory, so he must hide, like hibernation, otherwise they will all be finished during the great changes. Huang Jintian actually figured this out, and Chen Shang was quite surprised, which meant that Huang Jintian's ability had also improved a lot. Master, there will be a large piece of land appearing in Tianghu Purgatory. Chen Shang simply said that Lu Dao Tianguxing will create a large land. After hearing this, Huang Jintian was not surprised at all, and said, "It seems that this is the great change I predicted before. Once the ancient purgatory turns into the earth, it will not be a bad thing for us." "You are safe now, right?" Chen Shang said, "I'm still more worried about you." "We are safe now. The desert that your father got is now wrapping us up. If something happens, that desert will take us to move quickly. After the land appears, we should be able to land directly on the land." Huang Jintian said. "In that case, then I won't look for you for the time being." Chen Shang said, "We'll contact and meet again when the Tianghu Purgatory completes the great transformation and returns to normal. Little ghost, you have to be on guard against the star spirit race. This group of guys may be a variable." Huang Jintian warned. "Time Heavenly Man and Time Cultivator, these guys are like that in the first place, and the star spirit race is very likely to be like that. Get past them." Chen Shang had told Huang Jintian before that the star spirit race was very weak, so Huang Jintian was worried that Chen Shang would ignore the star spirit race. "I got it." Chen Shang also remembered Huang Jintian's words, and then he and Ling Shu continued to float in the void of the flame domain. Ling Shu looked into the distance, and suddenly said, "Master, I'm going to find the Protoss." Chen Shang was a little surprised, because Huang Jintian said that the star spirit race was a variable, but Ling Shu suddenly said that he wanted to find the star spirit race. "Why?" Chen Shang asked with a frown. "The Protoss may destroy the entire Tianghu Purgatory." Ling Shu said, "The earth in Tianghu Purgatory must cover a large area. If the Protoss make arrangements in advance and bury some stars in the ground, after the earth appears, they will, with the help of the land of the ancient purgatory, I will do some crazy things again. What will happen then?" Ling Shu had been with the Protoss for a while, and knew the madness of those people. The Protoss wanted to transform the stars into living things, and they created many terrible monsters before. With the character of the star spirit race, after a super land appeared in Tianghu Purgatory, they were going to plant stars. Ling Shu said, "If the land of Tianghu Purgatory spreads over the 9 regions, it will definitely bury a lot of stars. This is another new beginning for the Protoss, and they will definitely continue to do their crazy things." Quote, "Ling Shu, you must find them, it's best to grasp their movements." Chen Shang nodded. "Let's keep in touch." Ling Shu flew away from the magic mirror of 6 paths. He has also become a lot stronger now and can handle many things. Just like that, Chen Shang bid farewell to Ling Shu, and he and the divine mirror of 6 paths were floating in the void. Chen Shang didn't know what would happen next, but no matter how it changed, his path of cultivation didn't change, he just kept cultivating more and more various fates. "Sister Xiaojing, let's contact Tianshuan Domain Spirit again." Chen Shang said, "Look at what's going on with him." Sister Xiaojing consumed the energy of the star core and strengthened the space communication. After a long time, she finally contacted the Tianshuan Domain Spirit who was far away in the Thunder Field. "Creator, Tianghu Purgatory has become more and more chaotic recently." Tianshuan Yuling said, "We are in chaos, we must seize the opportunity and survive." "Tianshuan, the entire Tianghu Purgatory will solidify into the earth. You must be careful when the time comes, don't be buried in the soil, and fly as high as possible." Chen Shang said. The Aoshi universe has now been condensed into a Tianshuan star field. If it is buried in the ground, I don't know what will happen. As expected, I can feel that all kinds of power are changing, and after the star change, it is getting stronger and stronger. Tianshuan Yuling said. Does the star change affect you? There are many stars in the Tianshuan star field. Have you experienced the star change? Chen Shang asked. No, I avoided it. I wasn't targeted by the great tribulation of the ancient sky. If we experienced a star change, then we would become part of the ancient purgatory. I have been trying to prevent complete integration into the ancient purgatory. Tianshuan Domain Spirit said. This is a very sensible approach. Chen Shang heaved a sigh of relief. The Tianshuan starfield of the Aoshi universe, we should try our best to maintain independence. We only absorb the energy here, and once we integrate into the ancient purgatory, we will become the energy of the ancient purgatory. It's not easy. That's good, but the great changes in Tiangu purgatory will definitely be a big challenge. Chen Shang also really wanted to go to the minefield, but it was too dangerous for him to travel through the space at a long distance now. If he was stuck in the middle of a dilemma, it would be troublesome. The space of Tiangu purgatory fluctuates violently from time to time, and Chen Shang doesn't know what's going on. Because logically speaking, even if it is to be solidified into land, there shouldn't be such fluctuations. Just when he was very puzzled, he suddenly saw a huge white crack appearing in the void. After the crack appeared, suddenly there was a violent and powerful aura gushing out. It's the other layers of Tiangu purgatory. Sister Xiaojing exclaimed. It started. Have the things from the other layers of Tiangu purgatory entered the first floor? There are more and more such cracks, appearing in many places. A large number of creatures enter the first layer from other layers, and at the same time, energy surges in. After the merging of 18 layers, is there enough energy to turn into land? Chen Shang suddenly felt that this seemed to be destined. The other layers of Tiangu purgatory have also accumulated a lot of energy over the years. If they are condensed, it will be very terrifying. Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, let's run. The mirror of 6 paths flew away quickly, because the space everywhere seemed to collapse, but those huge stars could block the violent energy storms. And no matter what, after this time, Tiangu purgatory will also usher in new great changes, changes that even the Temple of Heaven and Man and the Temple of Time cannot stop. The Temple of Heaven and Man and the Temple of Time have stopped a lot in the recent period, indicating that they are also preparing for great changes. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5216, First Generation of the Earth. The space on the first floor of Tiangu purgatory completely collapsed in just a few moments, and now Chen Shang could only dodge left and right, avoiding the energy waves erupting from various space collapses, and avoid being hit. It's too scary, Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, we have nowhere to escape now. Chen Shang looked at the stars in the distance, and said, I don't know if the stars will be affected. He hurriedly flew to the star closest to him, and after getting close, he found that the star was spinning rapidly, and there were also strong spatial fluctuations around it, which were shaking away all kinds of energy waves that came over. Chen Shang originally planned to hide in this star, but found that there was no way to get in. He wanted to jump in, but was blocked by the power released by the star. In desperation, Sister Xiaojing could only take him to space jump to another star. The space is shattered everywhere, a large amount of energy waves are impacting, and the star that Chen Shang went to either has no defense ability and is torn apart by the space wave, or the defense is too strong, even he cannot enter. Although Chen Shang could avoid those space wave impacts, he could also resist them, but this was too tiring, and he had to be tense all the time. The best way was to find a star to hide in. He searched for several days in the void of the collapsing ancient purgatory, went to thousands of stars, and finally found a star that he could enter, and this star could also withstand various space energy shock waves. After Chen Shang hid in, the movement outside became louder and louder, and the energy released by that star became stronger and stronger, otherwise the star would also be shattered. Before, it was only the second floor of Tiangu purgatory that collapsed, but now it should be the third floor. Sister Xiaojing said. The third layer of space was also merged into the first layer, and the movement was also very loud. Chen Shang was worried because he was worried that this little star would not be able to withstand it. The whole process should last for a long time. Chen Shang said. For the earth to appear in the ancient purgatory, it has to absorb a lot of energy. The 18th floor of the ancient purgatory alone should not be enough. Let's wait patiently. Let's start cultivating when the outside calms down. Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, you need to become stronger and cultivate more faith, because after the ancient purgatory appeared on the earth, everyone don't know what will happen. Yes, what is certain is that even if there are many people and many creatures, since the ancient purgatory is too big, there won't be any competition, right? Just one flame domain is very vast, and there will be land in the 9 domains of Tiangu purgatory. If you want to cross domains, you don't know what monkey year you will go. What is certain is that there will be no way to use the space jump for a short time. Xiaojing's sister said. The formation of the ancient purgatory and the earth, the laws of time and space, will definitely undergo earth-shaking changes, and we will not be able to grasp it in a short time. Chen Shang hid inside the stars, and waited for several months. The outside finally calmed down, and the 18 floors of Tiangu purgatory were completely merged together. Although the outside is said to be calm, it's just that there is no shock wave of the space collapse like before, and there are still all kinds of violent energy sweeping outside. Chen Shang also tried to go out before, and found that the energy was so terrifying that even he couldn't resist it. The entire flame domain has been shrouded in a thick light mist, like the light domain, full of very strong creative power. Chen Shang can only continue to stay inside the star and start to cultivate. Although the energy outside is very violent, this star can absorb it. Xingqian is also absorbing the creation force to cultivate. Chen Shang can naturally obtain energy to cultivate in the interior of Xingqian. I don't know what will happen to these stars after the earth appears. Chen Shang is very curious about this. Will the stars continue to float in the sky by then? Sister Xiaojing said. No matter what, these stars seem to be eternal. They are so powerful that they will definitely survive. The stars are getting stronger and stronger, especially in the era of star change. When the stars change, it can be said that most of the energy in the ancient purgatory has been crazily gathered. I'd better practice. I hope I can pass quickly. Chen Shang began to fall into a long-term cultivation state. If the earth appeared, he would suffer a great loss because he did not have enough strength. In the blink of an eye, 10,000 years have passed. Chen Shang was still cultivating, and his cultivation had undergone great changes. He hid in the inner space of a star, and he could feel the movement outside through the star, so he didn't go out either. Brother, your destiny is all fused, and I don't know if this is the right path. Sister Xiaojing said. It can only be fused first, it can gather the energy of fate. Chen Shang closed his eyes, feeling his own fate. The fate he cultivated before is now all fused by him, and he calls it the 6 fates. 6 paths of fate looks like the mirror of 6 paths. In the depths of his soul, it can provide him with a lot of energy. His previous fates were many, and they were too scattered. Although they all had their own characteristics, they were all integrated now, and their characteristics had to be preserved. For example, if you want to use the energy of a certain fate before, you can gather all the power of fate to mobilize it, which is faster and better than before. Sister Jing, 10,000 years have passed, what's the situation outside now? Chen Shang asked. He couldn't see the outside now, but Sister Xiaojing could. The earth has not yet formed, and all kinds of chaotic energies are only now beginning to settle. Sister Xiaojing said. However, I feel that if the earth appears, it should appear in an instant. Why did it appear in an instant? Didn't it form slowly? Chen Shang asked. I feel that a lot of energy is gathering in a certain place. It should be that Tiangu Purgatory uses the power of time to condense energy in a certain place, and then releases the energy in an instant to build the earth. Now Tiangu Purgatory is just floating with various creation forces, Sister Xiaojing said. Wait a little longer, it feels like it's coming soon. Chen Shang has cultivated for 10,000 years in the blink of an eye, so he is not in a hurry now. Anyway, what should come will come sooner or later. As Xiaojing's sister expected, there was a lot of energy deposited in Tiangu Purgatory. Suddenly, the energy surged and then began to solidify. I don't know where to send so much energy. After solidifying the creation force, it gradually formed. Earth. Sister Xiaojing exclaimed. Brother, the star we are on has moved upwards. Maybe, is it going to fly higher? If the stars do not fly upward, they may be buried. The star where Chen Shang is located has a very fast reaction speed, and can fly upwards in a short period of time, avoiding being sucked by the sudden appearance of the earth. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5217, Chaos Over. The stars were flying upwards quickly, and for some reason, Chen Shang felt very uncomfortable inside the stars, and was under tremendous pressure. If he continued, his body would definitely be crushed by that terrifying pressure. Brother, run, Sister Xiaojing suddenly shouted. This star is too scary, it's very fast, and it also produces a very terrifying pressure to resist the suction of the earth. Why is this happening? Chen Shang took out the magic mirror of 6 paths. You are still under the suction of the earth, but the stars are crazily getting rid of it. If you are unable to resist the suction of the earth in the stars, then you will definitely be pulled by 2 forces. Sister Xiaojing said, you leave quickly. Chen Shang immediately passed the magic mirror of 6 paths, and left the star with difficulty. After leaving, in the blink of an eye, the star flew far, far away, and he could only see a little bit of starlight. This speed was extremely terrifying. Under the protection of the divine mirror of 6 paths, he was falling rapidly. The entire land of Tianghu Purgatory has just been formed, producing a very huge suction force, which requires a lot of energy to fly. At this moment, the divine mirror of 6 paths also consumes a lot of star core energy to barely help Chen Shang maintain a slow fall. Brother, the changes in the ancient purgatory have turned the world upside down. From now on, there is only one piece of land under time. Sister Xiaojing said. Tianghu Purgatory was originally a fusion of multiple spaces in time and space, and finally became so big. Now there is land, which is indeed the only land under time. I understand that even with a powerful time force, it is impossible to have such a large land in another time and space. That is to say, the ancient land of purgatory in the past and the land of ancient purgatory in the future will not appear at the same time. Chen Shang said. Before, because of the time monks running around, the space of multiple time periods appeared, which caused a lot of confusion. For example, Yaohun Nuguo, because of the time monks running around, there are several of them. But now, all kinds of chaotic time and space are swallowed by the ancient purgatory, and the earth appears again, and the time monks can't go to the future or the past of the purgatory great wilderness. Has the chaos brought about by time finally come to an end? The space-time chaos that occurred before, as long as it does not reappear in the future, the chaotic influence will gradually disappear. Sister Xiaojing said, it may be that Tianghu Purgatory defeated time and controlled time, so this land was created. After time, it will be just honest time. Chen Shang said, perhaps, time has always been honest, it's just that some people abused the power of time, which caused a lot of confusion. After that, everything will start again. Chen Shang sighed in relief, and said, I still don't know what will happen to this great purgatory in the future. He is landing, and the great wilderness of purgatory has formed, and he also wants to go to Qingxing quickly to ask. The place where Qingxing was located should be the center of purgatory great wilderness. There is a huge portrait like her there, so it should be easier to find. This land must be dominated by the stars. Sister Xiaojing sighed. Brother, you should still remember the group of stars in the galaxy before. Of course Chen Shang remembered that there were a lot of them, and there were many tribes. Most importantly, they were very powerful. In the purgatory wilderness, they must be the strongest group of people. Tens of thousands of years have passed since he hid in the stars before. During the formation of the purgatory great desolation, many things must have happened. I don't know if there is still a place for human beings in the present purgatory great desolation. The temple of heaven and man, the temple of time, and the star spirit race, they should also be a very powerful force. Sister Xiaojing said, brother, especially the star spirit race, we must be careful. Chen Shang had already landed on the ground, he stepped on the ground vigorously, and found that the ground was very thick and had not been dented by his powerful force. He looked up at the sky. There was no sun in the blue sky, but he didn't know where the strong light came from. It also shone on the earth like sunlight, and he could feel the creative power contained in the light. This may be the power of the light domain. There should be night and day in this land, right? Chen Shang looked around, it was a bare flat ground, full of red soil, without any plants. It may be that there is no place where he is staying. There should be some areas where there are plants and even a large number of creatures. This place is too big. Let's talk about it at night. Sister Xiaojing said. If there is night, maybe you can see sunny stars. There are also nights in purgatory wilderness. After night falls, there are bright stars in the sky, and there are still a large number of stars illuminating the night sky, and many beautiful galaxies can be seen. There are also many stars. Chen Shang looked at the sky, the clear stars should be over there. He could see that there was a direction where there was a strong light shooting from the ground into the sky. Although the distance was far away, the sky over there was illuminated by the light from the ground. He couldn't see Qingxing's phantom light portrait, but he guessed that no matter how big Qingxing's phantom light portrait was, it was still in the light domain, and Chen Zhang's place in the fire domain was too far away, so he could see the relevant appearing. It already shows that the light released by Qingxing's phantom portrait is very strong. Maybe that's Guangyu over there. Sister Xiaojing said, at least we have a direction, let's go and have a look first. There is no way to jump in space, and flying is also costly, and I don't know how many years it will take to get there. Chen Shang remembered that the distance from the fire domain to the light domain was very long, and he couldn't travel through space. Even if he could fly fast, it would take a long time to arrive. So Chen Shang immediately gave up the idea of rushing over there. It is better to ponder the power of the law of space, and comprehend the law of space in this great wilderness as soon as possible. As long as he obtains energy, he can quickly reach the light domain and find Qingxing. Chen Shang used the magic mirror of 6 paths to contact Huang Jintian and the others, but he couldn't get in touch no matter what. It seems that it will be difficult to make space contact in a short time. Sister Xiaojing said. Am I the only one here? Chen Shang looked at the endless land of red soil all around, and was also very puzzled. He didn't know how long he would have to walk before he could see anyone. There is movement, Sister Xiaojing suddenly shouted. Brother, there is movement deep underground, run. Chen Shang immediately started running, only to see several huge black snakes suddenly appearing from the ground, not only big, but also very fast. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, these guys must be killed. With their speed, they will definitely chase you. There are at least hundreds of snakes, how can Chen Shang kill them all? Holy Maiden of Purgatory. Chen Shang suddenly thought of them. The Purgatory Saintess has been in the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower, and there are star cores inside, allowing them to cultivate. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5218, Wildlife. It's not that Chen Shang can't defeat those black snakes, but it will be very tiring to kill them all. He released all the Purgatory Saintesses. Although Chen Shang hadn't looked for them for many years, Shui Shenying and Shui Shengxiang didn't have any complaints. For them, Chen Shang gave them a very comfortable environment, and there is also a powerful star core that can make her stronger in cultivation. Over the years, they have also explored a path of cultivation by themselves, and their strength at this time is not weak. As soon as the Purgatory Saintess came out, she fought crazily with several giant snakes. Chen Shang also participated in the battle, using the Azure Dragon Demon Slaying Knife to cooperate with the 6 Paths Magic Mirror to kill. These giant snakes are considered to be the creatures of this land. Although Chen Shang and the others can kill them, it also shows that these snakes are indeed very strong. If in the past, Chen Shang relied on the Divine Mirror of 6 Paths alone, or used the Azure Dragon Slaying Demon Knife by himself, he would be able to easily kill Dajin. But now, the blade energy he slashed out from far away with the Qinglong Demon Slaying Knife, even with very powerful divine power, could not break through the scales of those ***** snakes. Chen Shang could only kill the ***** snake by using the sharp green dragon demon slaying knife in close combat. Although the Purgatory Saintesses can also kill big snakes, they are shocked in their hearts. They can only be killed in large numbers. If they are not enough in number and cannot escape, they are very likely to be killed by these ***** snakes. They have been cultivating hard for 10,000 years, and they have never enjoyed it much, because they know that there are many powerful enemies in the ancient purgatory. But now, after they were released by Chen Shang, it took so much effort to kill a group of ordinary-looking snakes, and they had the advantage in numbers to kill the snakes. Shui Shengxiang looked at the corpses of giant snakes all over the ground. Her beautiful face was full of solemnity. She looked at the sky, and looked around, but she didn't know where she was. Brother Shen, what is this place? What happened all these years? Shui Shengxiang asked. The Purgatory Saintesses are now also cleaning up the corpses of those big snakes, because they are of great use to them, and eating those meats is of great help to their practice. Many things happened. Chen Shang immediately talked about the 9 realms of Tianghu Purgatory, which had turned into a large piece of land. After listening to it, the Purgatory Saintesses felt very shocked. They all knew how big Tianghu Purgatory was, and it was difficult to get out of just a flame domain. And now, the entire ancient purgatory has turned into the earth. It wasn't long before I set foot on this land, and I encountered those things. If I don't kill them, I will be chased for a long time, so I ask you to come out to help, and I can also let them practice their hands. Chen Shang didn't know what danger he was going to face before he could reach the center of the light domain. That place was also the center of the Purgatory Great Wilderness, and perhaps he would be able to know more about the Purgatory Great Wilderness when he saw Sunny Star there. Narcissus smiled and said, "Brother Shen, I thought you had forgotten us. After so many years, you can still remember us, you still have a conscience. I'm sorry to all of you. In the past so many years, I only remembered that I still have a beautiful group of Purgatory Saintesses when I was in danger." Chen Shang laughed. "HMPH, you really forgot about us. Men really have no conscience, thanks to the fact that I've been thinking about you every day for these years." Narcissus Ying said with a resentful face, but she stared at Chen Shang with winking eyes. Mei smiled and said, "Brother Shen, now you have to make up for our sister's lovesickness for you over the years." While speaking, Narcissus Ying had already rushed over, her delicate and fragrant body stuck to Chen Shang. "Sister Ying, I'm the one who's sorry for you, and I will definitely make up for it in the future. It's not appropriate now." Chen Shang smiled and pinched her face, then kissed her lips. "Otherwise, this little goblin will definitely haunt him." Narcissus Yingzhao smiled and said, "Brother Shen, don't break your promise. If you dare to lie to me, I will call my sisters to tie you up and rectify the FA on the spot." In the eyes of Narcissus Ying, even if the sky falls, the matter of Fengyu is the most important. Although Shui Shengxiang felt that something was wrong, she didn't say anything, because she had listened to Shui Shenying talking about Chen Shang all day long, and she had indeed suffered from lovesickness for many years. Shui Shengxiang said, "Brother Shen, this ancient purgatory is so vast that there will be many forces in the near future, and you said before that the strongest should be those stars. Have you thought about how to deal with it?" Chen Shang shook his head, and said, "This place is too big, I can't fly fast, and I can't travel through space. I can't go to the center of the great wilderness in a short time. That place should be the place where strong people gather. If I haven't met them, I don't know how to deal with it." Narcissus Ying said, "Brother Shen, although you have forgotten us for a while, you seem to have no conscience, and you don't know how to favor us, but we are willing to fight to the death for you. Let's get out." The soft and charming Narcissus Ying said these words, which also moved Chen Shang, and couldn't help but hug her in his arms and kiss her cheek. Chen Shang released the Immortal War Profound Demon Tower, and asked the Purgatory Saintesses to move the snake's body into their floors, and they were also very edible. Chen Shang also entered the Shenzhen Xuanmo Tower to rest, and then went to see the Fruit Monster Clan and the others. They planted a lot of Purgatory blood fruits, and they were all improved. Because there were too many, they gave a lot to the Purgatory Saintesses to eat. Chen Shang now also understands why the Purgatory Saintesses are not weak and can improve steadily. It turns out that there are Purgatory blood fruits. The residences of the Purgatory Saintesses are also in the big trees, and those big trees were all sent up by the Fruit Demon Clan. Chen Shang was in the cave of Narcissus Ying and Shui Shengxiang. He didn't know how long he slept, but he only remembered that he slept very soundly. It had been a long time since he let go of everything to enjoy it. When he woke up, he saw Narcissus Ying and Shui Shengxiang getting dressed. Seeing him wake up, Shui Shengxiang came over and kissed his handsome face, and said with a gentle smile, "Brother Shen, we are going to practice too, or we won't be able to catch up with you." Narcissus smiled and said, "Brother Shen, we won't be stronger, I'm afraid we won't be able to help you kill the enemy in the future." They all knew that Chen Shang would not be able to find his friends for a long time, so during this time, they were the only ones Chen Shang could rely on. "Thank you." Chen Shang smiled gratifiedly. He came out of the Immortal War Xuanmo Tower, thankful that he had left some star cores inside. "Those star cores are very strong even now." Sister Xiaojing said, "Brother, we only have a few hundred star cores now, so we need to save some." World Defying Dan God Chapter 5219, Underground Superstar. Chen Shang doesn't dare to consume the star core indiscriminately now, because it is something he uses to save his life, and he can only use it when it is very necessary or when his life is in danger. Star cores are used one less, and now there is no way to easily obtain star cores, and these star cores are very rare and powerful energy sources even in the current ancient purgatory and wilderness. Chen Shang is running wildly by himself now, he can only run towards the Qingxing statue now. The clear star image is huge, and it can illuminate the deep sky in the distance at night. Even if the clear star image cannot be seen, you can know where it is. Chen Shang had also told Huang Jintian about their Qingxing statue before, So even if he couldn't contact Huang Jintian and his father now, they should all go to the Qingqing statue. Brother, do you think there are any stars buried in the ground? Sister Xiaojing suddenly said. When the ancient purgatory land was formed, if you didn't run fast enough, it would be frozen deep under the ground by the earth. The land of Tianghu Purgatory is as big as the endless void before. Even if it is formed and buried deep under the ground, there will not be too many, because most of the stars can escape at the last moment. Chen Shang said. There will definitely be, but not many. Even if there are, they should be occupied by those stars. He doesn't expect to find these stars now, he just wants to find Qingqing quickly and find out the situation of this ancient land of purgatory. Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, the most powerful people on this land must be the star people, we need to find a way to restrain them. Also, you should remember how they viewed Qingqing before. In the eyes of most star people, although Qingqing is a queen, for those star tribes, Qingqing is a tool for fertility, which can breed a large number of powerful offspring for their group. Even now, this is the goal of those stars, so they will definitely try to get Qingqing. When Chen Shang thought of this, his teeth itched with hatred, but now he couldn't go to the vicinity of the Qingqing statue at all. On the road, Chen Shang often encountered various powerful creatures, some would chase him down, and some would just ignore him. Those beasts that chased and killed Chen Shang were basically wiped out by Chen Shang and Purgatory Saint's squad. Chen Shang also discovered that those beasts were indeed delicious, and the meat contained extremely strong energy. A few months later, Chen Shang stood on the shore, looking at the boundless sea ahead. Why is there a sea here? Chen Shang cursed and put the Six Paths mirror on the water. Now he can only ride the Six Paths mirror, absorb the creation force between heaven and earth through the Six Paths mirror, and then gallop across the water. Seeing the sea, Chen Shang thought of the Shanao clan of Tianghu Star. If there were still such huge Shanao, it would definitely become even bigger in Tianghu Purgatory. At night, Chen Shang lay on the Six Paths mirror, looking at the stars in the sky. He could see several very beautiful galaxies. The stars there were all very powerful, and Chen Shang could sense the strong light shining on the earth. To a little bit of the power of the stars. Suddenly, a voice came from Chen Zhang's mind. Master, Master, I finally found you. This was the voice from Ling Shu. Chen Shang immediately sat up, looked at the sky and said, Ling Shu, where are you? Ling Shu smiled and said, I have become a Protoss of the stars. I am deep in the sky, and I may never become a human to travel again in the future, just be a Protoss honestly. Didn't you go to the Star Spirit clan? Did you find them? Chen Shang asked. I found it. Ling Shu smiled and said, Master, although I am above the sky, I can see part of the ancient land of purgatory. I can be your guide. Part? You are so high, can you only see part? Chen Shang was surprised. Yeah, the land of Tianghu Purgatory is really too big, but I can control the stars to move quickly, and I can switch to other areas of Tianghu Purgatory. Ling Shu smiled. Can you see the image of Qingqing? Chen Shang asked hastily. I can see. The image of Qingqing is very strong, and it is still a star. A star that turns into a human image is not a human image inflated by gas, but a solid star. Ling Shu said about Qingqing like, very excited too. I don't know what happened everywhere. Ling Shu, can you see the situation on the ground clearly? Chen Shang asked. No, I have to maintain a certain height with the land of Tianghu Purgatory, otherwise I will be sucked down by the land of Tianghu Purgatory, which will be very dangerous. Ling Shu said. I can only see a general idea, and I can see you, Master. On a sea. Chen Shang asked. How big is this sea? How long will it take me to cross the sea? Ling Shu said. It's very big. At least 70% of the ancient purgatory land is the sea, and you are on the sea now. However, there will be many huge lands, which are also very spacious. Knowing that his journey is still very long, Chen Zhang's heart is half cold. Master, the Temple of Time and the Heavenly Man of Time are moving very quickly, and the Star Spirit race is also expanding rapidly. Ling Shu said. Can you see their activities? Chen Shang was slightly surprised by this. I can see some huge palaces moving, so I probably know it's them. Ling Shu said. Master, if you want to fight against them now, it will be very difficult, because there are a lot of them and they have time to fight against them. Strength. Can they still use the power of time indiscriminately now? This is what Chen Shang is most worried about. Certainly not now. In the past, they could easily travel through time and space to go back to the past, or go to the future. When they change the past and the future, they would cause a lot of chaos, but now they can only control a small area of time, Ling Shu said. This Chen Shang can also do, such as controlling the time acceleration in the Six Paths mirror, which can be used to grow medicinal materials and so on. Master, if you keep walking, there is a big land in front of you. It's night, but I can feel that there are many creatures on that land, and there is a big star buried under that land. Ling Shu, when telling Chen Shang the news, the voice seemed very excited. Underground superstar, then create a prosperous land. Chen Shang said. It's worth going to see. I don't know if there are those guys from the Temple of Time. Ling Shu said. That's the territory of the stars, they don't dare to mess around on it. The piece of land in front is actually the territory of the stars. Chen Shang didn't know what those star people would be like, so he wanted to see them even more. Ling Shu, what is the current strength of the star people? Are there many of them? Chen Shang asked. Many, star people can always find the best places. Ling Shu said. So they are all very strong. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 5220, The Way of the Beginning. Most of the star people Chen Shang had met before were all very savage, and he didn't know if the star people had changed after 10,000 years. He stood on the mirror of the Six Paths, crossed a large area of AAC, and finally saw that piece of land, and there was a huge star under this piece of land. Compared to that huge star, this piece of land can only be regarded as very small, far less than 1% of that star. Not long after Chen Shang set foot on this piece of land, he saw a group of people riding a giant bull covered in golden scales and galloping towards them at an extremely fast speed. There are dozens of people in total, all of them are big men. They only wore shorts, showing their strong upper body muscles. Their skin was as white as jade. Under the skin, there was a faint golden light, which was a kind of energy the flow makes their muscles look very powerful. Chen Shang was immediately surrounded. These big guys were more than a head taller than him, and each of them was so strong that he was surrounded like a lamb. You don't have star marks, and you don't have marks of the beginning. Are you an ancient survivor who just woke up? Asked a big man in the lead. Star marks. The marks of primordial beginning, ancient survivors, what are these? Chen Shang didn't understand, but he could tell that these were very important. You'll know when you come back with us. Don't worry, we won't hurt you. The ancient survivors are weak and worthless. We believe in Queen Sunny Star and don't kill the ancient survivors indiscriminately, said the big man. Queen Sunny Star. Chen Shang was very excited when he heard it. He didn't expect Qingxing to become this kind of existence, and it was already the belief of many stars. Chen Shang climbed onto the back of a golden bull, and was taken away by them to a small village. They told Chen Shang that when he came over from the sea, he was seen by some seabirds, and those seabirds were raised by the villagers. The village mainly makes a living from fishing and grazing, and the golden cattle they raise are very valuable. And the fish they fished were not those small fish, but giant sea fish as huge as a mountain, and they were mainly sold to the city. This village is called Jinyu Village, and the village chief Niu received Chen Shang very warmly in his living room. There are not many ancient survivors, so many years have passed. If they can't wake up again, then they might not be able to wake up again. Village Chief Niu laughed, and then toasted Chen Shang with a bowl of wine. Uncle Niu, are there more or less ancient survivors? Chen Shang asked. No more, no less. They were slaughtered for a while back then, but there are still quite a few. Now most of them are integrated with our star people, and sometimes they are not separated from each other. Only those nobles among the star people still pay attention to bloodlines. Yes, Village Chief Niu said. So that's how it is. I heard what that elder brother said about star marks, and the marks of primordial beginning, what are they? Chen Shang asked, how can we have those things? Star marks, that's it. Village Chief Niu rolled up his sleeves and saw a golden scar on his arm. The scar of absolute beginning needs to be cultivated and recognized by the absolute beginning heaven and earth. I haven't practiced it before, so I don't have it. Absolute beginning heaven and earth, what is this? Chen Shang asked. This world is the world of primordial beginning. It is the beginning of everything, and time is here at the beginning. Anyway, we all think so. Before the formation of the primordial world, all chaos was caused by time, but now time is sealed here, chaos it's also terminated. Village Chief Niu said. Can you tell me how to cultivate the scar of the primordial beginning? Chen Shang was very curious about this. He thought this should be the cultivation law of the primordial world. Of course can. Although village chief Niu has never practiced, he knows a lot. The reason why he doesn't practice is mainly because he doesn't need it. Their star people are born with strong strength, and they are already at a relatively high level. For example, the villagers of Jinyu village were born with star traces of the Taurus star. As long as they are near the Taurus star, they will always be protected by the Taurus star. And the Taurus star is under this land, and those stars who practice the way of the beginning, because they want to travel far and explore the wilderness of the beginning, they can no longer rely on the stars when they go outside, they can only practice the way of the beginning and use the divine power of the beginning self-protection. In addition, there are Taoism in the beginning, etc. Humans, stars, monsters and all kinds of beasts can practice. After village chief Niu finished speaking, he took out many books and handed them to Chen Shang, saying, Absolutely Beginning Taoism, Absolutely Beginning Heart Sutra, Absolutely Beginning Alchemy, etc., are all here. Chen Shang immediately opened it and looked at it. At first glance, it was very complicated and profound, very difficult to understand. Village head Niu said, It's just so difficult, so I'm too lazy to practice. But after Chen Shang read it carefully, he found that there was a feeling of déjà vu, and then he understood it naturally. Can you show me these for a while? Chen Shang asked. All for you. These things are all over the street. These are relatively superficial. If you want to learn more advanced ones, you can only go to the Taichu school palace. The village head Niu said, Where there are stars, there are Taichu schools. Palace, this Taurus continent is on the Taurus star, so there is also the Taichu palace. Thank you, village chief Niu. Chen Shang thanked him very much, and then took out many divine fruits as a thank you. The divine fruit grown by the fruit monster race is still very useful, and it is sweet and delicious, and it is a sought-after item at any time. Village chief Niu and the others have never seen this kind of divine fruit. They are very grateful to Chen Shang. Chen Shang also gave them some small saplings as a thank you gift, and asked them to plant them by themselves. Village head Niu gave Chen Shang a golden bull. The golden bull runs very fast, and it has a lot of power on the Taurus star, so it won't get tired, so it is very useful. Chen Shang left Jinyu village on a golden bull, and he was going to the Taichu Academy in the Jinyu continent. Village head Niu also said that there is a stargate in the Taichu Academy Palace, which can be teleported to other places. Generally, there will not be too many disputes on the land above this kind of stars. There are a lot of resources in areas where the competition is fierce outside, and there are often a lot of star fragments underground in those places. Sister Xiaojing said, Brother, if there is a stargate, we will be able to reach the Qingxing statue very quickly. I don't know if we can use those stargates. Even the stargates need to be teleported many times before they can get close to the center of the primordial world. Chen Shang said, Brother, why don't you cultivate the scar of primordial beginning first? Otherwise, others will treat you as a different kind. Sister Xiaojing said. Chen Shang also planned this way, and he wanted to let the Purgatory Saintess group practice. They are also at a bottleneck now, and they are also under the law of the primordial world. If they don't practice the primordial way, they will not be able to obtain the power of this world.